So we're gonna kick it off. Go on,
Good, we
introduce us,
good.
Brian, as ever.
Yo, what's good, everybody? Scotty GLO coming at you with another podcast. Today we got our good friend Keaton's been on the show before. This time with Ravi coming from Budapest. Why don't you say hello, everybody?
What is up, brother? Coming here, man. Another show. We got a lot of topics to talk about today. We want to talk about bodybuilding. We want to talk about physical development, how guys can get themselves into some seriously killer shape. Because we know we got Keaton, who's a expert in bodybuilding, and we got Brian, who is a former competitive bodybuilder, and my ass, who used to be a powerlifter and now is getting back in the game. I'm actually on Keaton's program right now, actually. So we're gonna go into all that. We're going to talk about a lot of different topics when it comes to dating, self-improvement, psychology. Keaton, what you got for us, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm really excited to be here, honestly. Um, just because I just consider you guys like bros, right? Like brothers.
Of course.
And I was so ha so let's just get into it a little bit. So I was so happy. First of all, I mentioned this to Scotty actually. I didn't know that you were gone. I don't know where you were. Like, I don't think anybody knew where you were for like 7 years or something. I was just expecting, you're just doing your own thing, no idea what you were doing or anything. But I was like, okay, he's moved on with his life and doing something else, low key or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then thankfully, GLL came back for a little bit. I watched every single one of his videos. Um, I've of course watched his podcast with Derek too. If you guys haven't watched those ones, you guys should. They're so enlightening, right? Because it's Derek is another guy that got into self-improvement because of Chris, and then how they changed lives and everything. So anyways, yeah. So I saw that you were away for 7 years, and then I was like, oh shit, that this guy's been having a hard time or something. But it was really nice to see that you were finally coming back in, and that you are back in at this point. Like you're making it work, and you're back in. Are you back in New York yet, or?
Not back in New York yet, but I mean, baby steps towards that. I guess I'm in a better location than I was before when I first shot that video with Chris. I was in a really, retirement community in Florida. At least I'm in a little bit better of an area, and lo and behold, the results gotten a lot better. So it goes back
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the primary point that logistics can either kill your dating game or location is 1A. I always say 1B to 1A, which is 1A is obviously you need to learn some basic skills and social skills, and then right behind it is they go hand in hand is where you are, where you're going to apply the stuff you learn. If you can't apply it, there's no point of learning it, man.
For sure,
Yeah.
man. And like you can see
And
from
wait.
like,
I want to continue though.
sure.
The other thing I was so happy about was that I don't know if this is gonna sound bad, but like that Ravi is finally getting laid. I was so happy, bro. I was so happy, dude. And I don't think I told you this, but I shared. Oh, I think I did. I think I did. I shared this with my girl, like, because my girl knows about pickup and stuff, right? So she kind of understands it. She understands what's going on and stuff. So I was like, oh, you know what? He's finally getting laid. I don't know, 6 girls or 8 girls or something in
Yeah.
like a couple of weeks or something. Um, I already forgot what she said, bro. I mean I told you, but I think she was like, is it a big deal or is it not a big deal? Or oh, then I showed her your pictures, right? I showed her your transformation, like the before and after, and she was like, this is not the same guy. You're fucking with me. This is not the same person at all. I'm like, no, it is, and this is what guys kind of have to do. Like, I mean, that's the difference. We've had these discussions. I've had this debate with her like so many times about like how different it is for guys to get laid versus girls to get laid. And she just doesn't understand it, right? Because she just obviously, right, like 20 girls, the 20 guys hit on her like every day, every single
Mm.
fucking day. Dude, girls hit on her. So she just comes from like she has a different, you know what I mean? She just doesn't
Yeah.
understand it.
Bro,
She just doesn't understand it.
Dude,
like,
this doesn't exist for women, really. It's considered
I
weird and
know.
stuff like that. It could you imagine? I can't imagine. That's the only way we could do it is they don't relate to us, and we can only imagine like what it would be like
Yeah.
to have that inherent value or self-worth that is like an abundant mentality. Are all inherently abundant when it comes to that. They just there's no such thing as game. There's no such thing as making effort to get better and get, learn social skills. They could kind of just exist and they get rewarded for that. And people start to proposition them with all sorts of things. They'd have no idea, but this is like weird to them. They don't understand. They could try to, like your girlfriend's trying, or we could try to understand on some level what it would be like to just be an inherited, millionaire and just have everything up front that you don't think about. If you have it all there, you don't you take it for granted, really. You can't, and it's not really their fault. It's kind of like when something's taken away from you, then they would be like, oh fuck, we can no longer get laid as women. Then they would be like, holy shit, but when we say, and their perception is way off usually. When you ask a girl, like, when do you think the last guy got laid? Just this average guy working for you? They like way off base. They just assume that everybody's like getting laid. It's wild, man. But
I wonder, that's a good question to ask, because I wonder, I'm gonna ask her what's the longest, because what the thing is, she probably went celibate, right? Like she probably willingly decided to not sleep with someone. But for guys, it's the opposite, right? It's like, I think I've had like a 2-year dry spell or something in the past.
Oh man.
So if I ask her, she might be like, oh, for 4 years, but it's like, for her, it's like she always had the option. She just didn't want to do it.
The gulf between like the male experience and the female experience, you may as well be like having a dialogue with someone from fucking outer space, man. Like they are in a different galaxy altogether, man. Like even you take the most Giga Chad of Giga Chads, right? A complete astonishing. Right here, we have Keetan here, right? Intellectual muscle himself, right? You take him when he's just finished a set of like heavy ass squats, when his testosterone levels are like through the roof, when he's like on the bulking diet and he's making some serious muscular gains, and you just take a chick who's a regular ass female, like nothing, fucking nothing, dude, and she destroys us. Like destroys us 8 days a week. Can go into a club and leave with 10 dudes if she wants. Really, could rack up 10. You know what I mean? This is the so I can understand from a female's perspective, bro, they ain't gonna get it, and that's cool, because that's ultimately these are like our desires. The way I see it, man, it's like point A to point B, to just speak on the point of my own transformation. And this is coming on to year 3 for me. Now I'm getting a taste of all the things I work very, very fucking hard for, man. And of course, it's completely brilliant. It changes every facet of your life, man. Like just to go through like the results that I had like recently, getting a hell of a lot of action, all sorts of crazy shit happening for me. That was a culmination of years of hard work, dude. Hard work, showing up day after day after day after day, approaching for years now, consistently, every day for years. Yeah, without missing a beat. Whether I wanted to.
It may sound like I'm coming from a jealous standpoint or something like that. Oh, it sounds wonderful to be a girl and have it all handed to you. But there's pros and cons to everything, obviously. And like the good thing is like just
I was gonna give you like another
expressing that. We have like we have like it builds so much character. Like we have to think things through a little bit more. We have to be way more logical, rational, like pick our battles, be way more like aware of certain situations, or that might be like a violent situation, or just our minds are always going ways to improve. Okay, so you just got blown out and you were leaning in on this girl, now you're thinking of ways to improve. So we're like, the way you're passionately describing your own transformation, like this is the benefits of not having it all handed to you and just inherently like getting any guy you want.
That's what it's all about. That's what I wanted to. I wanted to build on that. I wanted to build on that.
Trade it for a thing, man. Yeah, I wouldn't trade it.
Of course not, man. This is a great point. Let's actually dive in on this though, right? Because this is why I did this shit, to become the better version of myself. That version of myself. This is the great thing actually that I want to actually drill in with you guys right now. You see, when I was like coming up, I was fucking obese, man. I had no confidence. I was like anxious, all that. It was good that I didn't get rewarded for that. It was actually good that I didn't, get lays and get affirmation and get positive attention and attraction like a woman would. It was good because it incentivized me to work hard, to become a consistent person, to change every aspect of my being. When I was doing my initial approaches and had a lot of anxiety, it's good that I didn't break through at that point, because it was inappropriate levels of anxiety, dude. I was speaking a mile a minute, weirdo, all that shit, because I was nervous as hell, man.
Yeah.
I worked through it. I became confident, charismatic. Now, because I have that level of confidence and charisma, I'm a better person for everything in my business, in my um the things I can do in this world. I can get up on stage, I can speak, I can do all these amazing things. And
Dude,
I'm
you're absolutely
very
right. You have to address your shyness. You're not going to get anywhere just being shy and timid. You have to address that. Like girls could get away with that. You could be a shy girl and never have to deal with that. You could
yeah.
be overweight, and for the most time, you're still getting validation, love, and attention from the opposite sex, or even from other girls, especially. They'll just, continue to encourage you and say how great you look and this and that. Like, dude, it's a totally different world, man.
That's the
I can
crazy
only
shit.
imagine. It's crazy, bro.
It's true. Like, go ahead, Keaton, you gonna say something?
So I just want to as much as they get that, they get the lays, and they they're never going to be thirsty for dick. They still suffer though. They still suffer big time. But that's why they don't want to get laid, right? Because that's why most girls don't want to get higher body counts or something, because their body counts obviously makes them feel a little bit sluttier or something, and it's going to make them look even sluttier for the guy that they eventually want to end up with. And because they get so much validation purely simply by having a vagina, and like everybody's trying to get inside it, they don't a lot of the times they don't feel the need, or they don't feel the necessity to become a better human being and to self-improve and to become a better person. And the thing is, whoever the guy that they're looking for, their forever guy, their husband, their man, whoever the man of their dreams or something, generally that guy generally doesn't want to settle for like a girl that doesn't want to work on herself and doesn't want to improve upon herself or something either, right? So they definitely suffer.
Yeah.
It's not like they don't. It's just that
Yeah.
they don't suffer what we suffer, which is the lack of sex, right? What they suffer, if you've ever heard women complaining, they always
No,
keep
honestly,
complaining,
bro,
there aren't good men, there aren't good men. Yeah.
It's sex, but it's also, don't forget, they also get attention. We too also like attention. We need some form of, like, I think, healthy validation and positive feedback from people. And, we literally are way more invisible, like as a species compared, like it doesn't matter. We're not seen enough. We don't get noticed at all. So that's also an aspect of, like, they're always getting way more attention too, man. Like, sex is a byproduct of that, but like attention in general, like this move, for example, like to Palm Coast, did not affect my sister as much as it affected me. Like, it just was normal. Like, she was a homebody as it is in New York. She didn't have to go out and hunt for things and use all the resources available that New York had to offer. And, then she's like, why is this guy freaking out? Why is he really in a depressed hole? Like, because, I actually had to use all that shit that was available, so.
Yeah, for sure, bro. I mean, I understand what both you guys are saying. I actually want to touch on a few things here. So, like, for sure, I hear you, Brian. Male invisibility, that was part of my life for 30 years. So I know that feeling to the core of my being, you know what I mean? And I was inspired by yourself to get out there and take something for myself, which I now have done many, 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 many times over. It's incredibly nourishing. I feel nothing but gratitude. It's a great fucking life that, I'm living out here. We're doing this amazing podcast, making moves in my business. I'm a different type of individual out here because of what I did. So yeah, completely hear you in this regard that um we're really blessed to go on this. But I also hear what Keaton is saying here actually, because as I became more successful women and as I got more women in my life, they tell me this shit. Like some of the chicks who I will see, sometimes, after we hooked up a couple of times, sometimes, we get a bit closer and they will actually tell me this shit. Like, they really want to find a quality dude, but they're actually struggling. And these are like kind of attractive women.
Beautiful girls. Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
they are like they're not
That's
getting
very
like
frequent.
yeah, like that shit happens. I'm sure Brian could tell us many stories from the several hundred women who've he's many through the. I mean, I'm sure many of them wanted. I heard that they were fighting to get in Brian's rotation back in the day, so they suffered too. I mean, this is part of this. Um, so in this regard, bro, like the way I look at it, like me and Brian have this conversation regularly, like about how ultimately, man, like we gotta we got to just kind of keep a mindset and mentality of kind of being positive and keeping it just towards solutions and results. You know what I mean? Because there's many spaces right now where dudes are very pissed off, very angry, very bitter, and they can get into these sorts of red pill debates about why dudes are having such a horrible time and all that sort of shit. But in this area of the internet where we are, like just the work that we do, we're solutions oriented and we're action takers. Like in our little space that we got, all our guys are approaching, all our guys are consistent, all our guys are doing the work and they're getting fucking results. Yeah. So goes to show that this
well, let me piggyback off that. Like, I mean,
for
just
sure.
to say, like, yeah, the one thing that differentiates us from some of these other spaces, I guess, is that, you know, we don't spend too much time trying to analyze the male nature or psychology. We're more like focused on ourselves and how to improve ourselves so that we just bring the best presentation to the table. Like when we do approach, like, dude, you'll drive yourself crazy, as you could tell with these podcasts or whatever information you're hearing, like trying to understand
Oh yeah,
female
oh
nature
yeah,
better
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Like, dude,
yeah, yeah,
dude,
yeah,
there's so many holes in that.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
there's
yeah,
so many
yeah.
holes. We're trying to figure out, you know, why are they acting like this, or they want one thing,
Mm,
don't want something. They say, first of all, women are emotional. They're just basing everything on their mood. One day they're horny, one day they don't want to talk to you again. It's up and down. So why spend all your energy trying to understand female nature? That's about the premises as far as we go. Like, you know, yeah, they are very erratic. So don't just move on, focus on yourself, and just keep, you know, putting your best foot forward is really all you're responsible for. You're responsible for the effort, ultimately, not the outcome of whatever result you get, you know. So
That's the one, right, bro, boys? And I'm really blessed to have this conversation with you two today because we have a great topic that we can dive into, right? And we're in a great position to do it because we have some interesting dynamics over here. We got so Keaton, you probably know this already, but Brian is a very accomplished bodybuilder. Like this dude
mhm.
on elite level physique. We're talking like 21-inch arms, had a fucking phenomenal physique, right? 19 years old, he was competing. Um, of course, like people like me resonated hardcore with Brian, with Chris, because at that time I was a young 19, 20-year-old lad competing in powerlifting, and I was one of those very hardworking, very driven guys, but just didn't get the social side of things down. But I resonated with these dudes, you know what I mean? Because I could see these guys are lifters and these guys are crushing it and killing it. You're another dude who's a lifter. You're a very serious lifter, and you are an individual with a unbelievable elite level of knowledge in bodybuilding and physical training and self-improvement. And I'd actually like to ask you guys some questions on this today so we can deliver some value to the audience and um, drive them to really realize their physical potential. So I'm gonna build on this with the question. Let's throw this over to Keaton, right? So Keaton, listen to me, man. I am training. I am in the gym, and I see dudes. I've seen this a long time where guys look the same year after year after year. Yeah, like, who
Mhm.
are seemingly like trying, but not a fucking damn thing is changing in them. In your experience as a coach, why is it that many just don't build these sorts of physiques? What's going on here?
mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say most of the times it is they're probably not following something that's structured. And they're probably not following a program that has like progressive overload in it, linear progression or progressive overload. And the principle of progressive overload is like the most basic thing in the world, which is like you start off with like zero stress, like zero baseline stress, and then you stress your body with like this much. Or so actually, so this is baseline, right? You stress it by like this much, like it goes under by this much, and but it'll come back bigger and stronger by this much. And then you stress it again this much, and it comes back bigger and stronger this much. So the wave looks like this. Like ideally, it should just keep on going up and up and up. Um, and I actually explained this really well in this recent video that I made, the life and body transformation guide. That's the one I think you picked up the program
Yeah,
from. And I explained, training, like where people misunderstand training versus working out. And working out, the problem with working out is that doing anything can be working out. Doing Zumba can be working out. Doing burpees or something in your kitchen can be working out. Walking your dog can be working out. Just doing steps around the kitchen is working out. Anything, lifting weights can be working out. Kickboxing can be working. Anything can be working out. And then they start measuring it on the Fitbit tracker. How many calories burned or something. And that's cool. But in my personal opinion, that's cool for burning calories and to keep a track of how many calories you're burning to some extent. Cool if you want to do that. But it's entirely pointless if you wish to build a good muscular physique, because your good muscular physique doesn't really bother with the heart rate and how many calories you burned or anything. It only makes a difference if today you were lifting 5 pounds and the next day 7.5, and then the next day 10 pounds, and the next day da da da. Because by the time you reach from 5 pounds to 50 pounds, that's how your muscle's going to grow. Right. So it doesn't matter how many steps you got in the middle of those 3 months or any of that stuff, or whether you sweat more when you were lifting 10 pounds versus whether you sweat way less when you were lifting 50 pounds. All of it, because again, that sweat thing, like how drenched is my shirt? How much does it look like I've sweat and everything? None of that stuff makes a difference. All of that stuff is just working out and the ideas of what working out looks like. But it's completely different from training. Training is, this is what I want to get. I want to get from 5 pounds to 50 pounds, in a dumbbell bench or something. And this is how my progression should look: 5, 7.5, this. And then you just slowly just keep on moving that thing. And over time, as you get from 5 to 20 and 20, 40, 40, and 50, you'll notice it yourself that yes, my muscles are getting bigger and stronger.
Yeah.
And that's what
Does it
most
also
people
require?
don't have that
Does
structure
it also
program.
require like what you eat too? Like if a lot of guys, I think that's the biggest thing to crack for a lot of people to like to get some really noticeable changes. That was the hardest thing for me. I think like the lifting was I had down at a pretty young age, but like once Dave was like, you got to start having like, since I can't get down all those meals, you got to start adding like monster shakes, cracking whole eggs in them, and do anything to break that threshold, because there was a ceiling to how
Yeah.
far I was going to grow with 3 meals a day. Once I started getting
Yeah.
into like the 400, 420 range protein, then I started to really, really put on some size with the combination of supplements as well. Like total, it's the whole thing, man. You know, I do think now that my muscles have expanded and I used even, juice back in the day and everything like that, I think it's now like they know those are familiar territories now that they've been expanded. I don't ask Dave that question actually, but like once you've stretched your muscles out that big, like it takes a while for those guys to, even when they stop competing, to like totally lose all that. And even if they just train at like a maintenance level, they're still like way bigger than like the average guy who never took juice or never, pushed it to those extremes of 400 grams of protein. Like they're just kind of like they look status quo. It takes them so much longer. Like I think being that these guys have taken it to such an extreme level, like you see them many, many years later off the stage and they're still bigger than like the average guy who kind of just trains hard. So that's the benefits, I think, to going like taking it really extreme, because at the end of the day, then you can slow down later in life and you'll still have a lot of those gains don't just totally disappear unless you're on some intense fasting and you're just, intentionally avoiding lifting and you want to lose weight.
Yeah,
Am I wrong or right?
that's a bit
What
of
do you
a
think with
different.
that?
I think that's a bit, what you're saying is right. It's just an entirely different thing. What Ravi asked me was, why do people like hop into the gym for years on end don't get results? Like, what are they doing wrong to not get results? That answer, in my opinion, is they don't have a structured program telling them how to go from here to here. The other thing about, like, getting up to that level and or even eating or any of that stuff, that's of course it's all useful. It's like different. Okay, so if there's like tiers of what's most important, I would say eating the right food is honestly, it's gonna sound maybe weird, but utterly pointless if you don't have a resistance training program. I mean, yes, your health markets and stuff might improve a little bit, yes, but none of that fuel is going anywhere until you break down the muscle, which gives your system a reason to trigger protein synthesis and to partition the nutrition and everything to go into the right spots. So cardio is entirely pointless. Food is also kind of pointless until you get training right. So if you were to even just eat McDonald's, and there are billions of examples of this, of people that actually eat McDonald's, by the way, that if they train right, even the McDonald's ends up helping them to build a little bit of muscle and lose a little bit more fat simply because of better nutrient partitioning and stuff. So if there's like a tier system, the number one would be training. Just make sure to get that thing right. So if you don't want to do anything else, you're a complete beginner and you don't want to put in a lot of effort, just train 3 times a week and eat the same fucking food that you eat. And in like 6 months, you'll notice a huge difference. If you want to make it faster than that, then train and eat right. And then, I have a whole video on this, the unfailable diet or the infallible diet, something like that, the most perfect bodybuilding diet. I explain the whole thing, what your calories are, what your maintenance is, what kind of food choices you need, how much protein you need. It's like 20 minutes and I explain how to build the perfect diet or something. So first is training, then you do the diet thing. And then on top of that, if you want to add something else, so let's say lose a little bit more fat or just make your heart healthier and just make everything just smoother, just much better, then you are adding the cardio. So it's like that. So this one thing is like worth 3 to 4 points. This one plus this other thing is worth like 5 to 6 points. And then this 1 plus 1 plus 1 equals like 9 points or something like that. You know what I mean? So it's something like that. It's just different things. Okay, so that's one part. The whole juicing and what Brian did and all the big muscles, and that's all muscle memory. And that's a completely different thing. I mean, his case is, of course, more extreme because he became way bigger and used the juice and, was 21-inch arms. So his muscle memory is going to be way easier and bigger and better. But most regular people aren't going to have muscle memory. Most regular people are just going to do the basic training and get like newbie gains. And most people can make the most insane gains in the first 6 months to like even up to 2 to 3 years of their training.
You see, what is in the theme of both of your answers, guys? Like, this channel is about the truth, right? So we're gonna give it honest. Like, what both of you shared is some hard ass work, man. To go out there and actually build some real solid ass muscle, it sounds like they're gonna have to lift some serious heavy iron and consistently over time. You know how fucking hard that is? Like, to show up and you do this hard ass workout, and then next week I have to lift even more. Like that is though really how you get results and how you accomplish anything. Yeah, and certainly when it comes to building a physique, a lot of our guys are gonna want to do this because they want to get a really abundant dating life. I've got another question then. When it comes to attracting women, gentlemen, what do you guys think? We both got guys here with a lot of muscle mass, right? I will join you there. I'm going to be working very hard on that in 2024. Believe me, I'm on Keaton's program right now. It's a fucking great program. I'm getting some good results. But you're going to have to give me a year or so, and then we'll see.
What's your goal, Ravi?
Yeah, you're going to need that much time anyways. Yeah, you're going to need a year plus or something. If you try and gauge it before that, then it's just like you're kind of like shooting yourself in the foot a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, bro. My goal, I'd say, I just want to build and develop a better physique. Yeah, because I'm in this shit for a long run. I'm still pushing every aspect of my life hard as fuck. So what I'm gonna say to you guys is like my goal. I want to get my big compound lifts up to at least the minimum that Keaton recommends. Keaton's recommendations are get your squat to 4 plates for 5 sets of 5. Get a bench to at least 2 plates, 5 sets of 5. Get your Oh, I got that wrong, Keaton. You actually say your squats to 3 plates to 5 sets of 5.
2,
I'm
3,
sorry.
4, yeah.
Yeah. And then your deads need to be 4 plates to 5 sets of 5.
It doesn't even have to be like whatever you can get it up, right?
I can do that. I actually did. I did some of them. I was pretty strong before. I can do those.
Yeah.
So
actually, I want to add 2 more things. I want to add 2 more things in there based on what you said, or that you just mentioned right now. What did you mention? Oh yeah, it's hard work. Like it's how it's hard work.
It's hard work, bro. Yeah.
Yes, and no, in the sense like it's always hard work. Like I mean, I trained today for like 15 minutes and I reduced my set times and it was hard work. Yes.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know what? At this point, I mean, of course, I'm 15 years in, but the thing is, pretty soon, I would say like as little as 4 weeks, even maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks, you're gonna start seeing something. You're gonna start seeing some changes and some results. And then those changes and those results will drive everything else. So I think most people seem to think it's like, oh, I have to work for the next 10 years, 15 years. I mean, you choose to work for the next 10, 15 years. If you're starting off, you only have to force yourself for the first 4 to 6 weeks, maybe. And it's like a commitment, right? Like, no, I'm just going to promise myself I'm going to do this for at least 4, 6 to 12 weeks. And give yourself those 6 to 12 weeks. You're going to start seeing results. And then you voluntarily want to go in and lift muscle and put yourself under stress and strain and all that kind of stuff. That's a voluntary action that ends up happening. So you don't really have to force yourself to do it. It's just, you just have to force yourself for the first 4 to 6 weeks. And another kind of small thing, if people fall off here, then I can't even believe like how early you fall off. But the DOMs, the soreness thing,
Oh, no.
and it happens to everyone. Like I've had surgeries and I've had typhoid, and there's so many times in my life that I've not gone to the gym for months on end or something, and then I go in for I start getting sore during the warm up. Like I haven't even reached the actual working weight, and I start getting sore because the first time you step into the gym after months, and you're like, how am I getting sore in my 50% of my weight? It just doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you're gonna start getting sore in your warm-ups, and then that's when people quit. That's when most beginners quit, because that shit hurts for the first week because you've never felt something like that. That shit hurts, and it's just uncomfortable, right? Like I'm getting up, I'm walking. It's like everything you're everything hurts. So people quit. But the irony is that's when you're supposed to force yourself to go in and do it again, because that thing lasts only 7 to 10 days. That's it. So I think most people think that that's gonna last forever. No, dude. If it did, nobody would do it. Like nobody would do it. Trust me.
You see,
So
what I'm curious about here is, I'm gonna stay the course, stay the whole long course, and when I'm gonna be over there in New York for 3 months with Brian, we're gonna be smashing it together, man. He's gonna be putting me through my paces, and you're gonna see. And maybe if you come down and train with us, Keaton, you'll be able to see as well. We're gonna make big movements in this space in 2024, and everyone is invited along for the ride. But I'm gonna share something with you. So, I saw a chick not too long ago, about a week ago, right? She's someone I know. I've seen her a few times. She's a great girl. But she told me, right, Ravi, I can tell, and there's some differences in your body right now. She says you got some nice arms going. I like the way your chest is looking. I like the way your ass and legs are looking. So that's her words, not mine. They notice these things. You know what I mean? They notice these things. So that's after just a few weeks, right? So there is some muscle memory because I used to train very consistently. But now I'm fucking curious, and I want to ask you two, you know, what can I expect in my reception with women after, let's say, 6, 9 months, a year? Did you guys find, as you really developed your physique, that things changed for you when it came to attraction? Were you getting more attraction? Chat to me about that.
Well, first and foremost, yeah, lifting was probably my first love, really. And then
same.
as I discovered, like what Keetan was saying with the weights first, that came actually pretty easy for me. Like my parents immediately were on board with that. I had a weight set down in my basement. As there's photos of me, I should put them up there. It's like, or me doing like the crab or whatever, and like flexing when I was 14. I started 14 or maybe even before 12. And I was training at least 3 times a week, like with decent weights. I was eventually putting plates on this. It was like a universal machine, a rack. And I started doing that. And I just then eventually I wasn't allowed to train at a gym by myself. So my dad got me a personal trainer at the right age, whatever, where you weren't allowed to go by yourself. But that was definitely my first love until I guess I realized like I wasn't getting any it got me, I would say, a couple girls just being so passionate about that. But like at the end of the day, I was still shy. I wasn't really addressing any of the issues. It was kind of fluky and stuff like that. And I'm like, all these women being in New York City are out there for the taking. I'm like, I got to do something about this. It's not going to get handled. So like once I took that boot camp or whatever, it just opened my eyes to like the abundance, and being able to speak to women and get laid from like a cold approach was like, it was like nirvana. It was like, I can't believe I just created that out of thin air. The empowering feeling behind that like overtook lifting. And then I really started to scale back with lifting a little bit. Still worked out pretty consistently during the GLL like peak years, my 20s, but it was more like 3 days a week. And it definitely took a backseat to like going out,
Partying at that
dates,
point.
curled up.
Yeah, you guys are fucking
partying.
partying hard. That
Yeah,
does
yeah.
not
I'm
handle. That
glad
does not go
I'm
hand in hand with fucking bodybuilding. No.
yeah, no, it
Yeah.
doesn't. I mean, I did maintain a pretty solid physique all those years. I was probably 215 pounds, I would say, the majority of those years, pretty solid for the most part. I felt very confident. I was boxing like a few days a week with a trainer. I had financial means to do that and stuff. So it was a good time, man. I was an extremist and I partied hard too. So there was consequences when it came to that stuff as well. But you're just circling back to your question, was you were saying how does the reception change
Yeah, for sure, bro.
when you
Like, as
train?
you know,
Yeah, I think. Yeah, the reception. I mean, yeah, I'm so grateful I went that path, and I was really drawn to lifting weights and bodybuilding, and I think a lot of that came from me being a wrestling fanatic too, and looking at some of these guys, these role models like a Scott Steiner, and some of these guys who were jacked up. They're all,
No, I just
from
love that
big
guy.
WWE.
Papa
Big
Pump.
Papa Pump.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
yo, me and my,
Like,
me and my boy. Yeah, yo, some of it,
I love
yo,
that guy,
Big Papa
bro.
Pump was the man.
He
Holler
was
if you
so
hear me.
good.
Some of his speeches were great, bro. So the Steiner brothers and shit like that. Just Ultimate Warrior was another freak. Vince
Yeah.
McMahon back in the day, like you basically had to be taking a juice. It was extremely
Yeah, yeah.
encouraged to be like part of the roster. Now it's a little more taboo, but it's back then they were all like, when you watch documentaries, you like basically had to be taking sauce to be on the roster. So anyway, that inspired me really to lift. I was just always called to do lifting and stuff. And then that was a great path because it gave me a good foundation to then enter into the new arena, which was just like pickup. Yeah, lifting was still part of it, but it was nowhere near as extreme. You know what I mean? So I think the reception, girls admired that those qualities became, just a fabric of my being and my existence, working hard, pushing yourself to the max. And it translated somewhat over to pick up. I mean, you had to learn a whole new skill, but it was still there, like that discipline, that commitment, the extreme nature of that being obsessed with something. A lot of people view that as a negative, but I think I don't regret it. I kind of, embrace that quality in myself. You get obsessed with things. You got to be careful when it comes to things you like too much, like drugs and other vices. But like, that obsessed nature really translated over to like pick up and stuff like that too. And of course, women are going to be more receptive. I mean, they're just like anything else. They like a guy who looks good. You are proud to show them your body when you take your clothes off. Who wants to be ashamed? I think somebody was telling me the other day that they were so embarrassed when hooking up with a girl, they left their shirt on whenever they would fuck a
that
girl.
happens too. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear that's more common than I think. That's like
Yeah.
it does tie into your level of confidence. I mean, there's a whole new level of confidence when you start to pull girls, like just on using your gift of gab, like our friend Greg would say, or ability to speak and stuff. But that's a good foundation, bro. It's a great foundation, and guys can get laid merely just off of that and not learning anything. Basically, that's how good of a foundation it is. I'm a huge advocate of it, man. And the girls are more receptive for sure.
I love this answer. This is good. So, Scotty over here is telling you, man, it's your confidence, it's your discipline, it's the having actual drive and ambition to go out there and create things. We love to see this in people. Intellectual muscle. Talk to us about, as you built your physique, how did you notice that affected your reception from the ladies?
Yeah. So let's do a little bit of story time stuff. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like most guys do, and I most definitely did. Like I started lifting weights to look good for the girls, right? Like to get attraction from the girls. I didn't even know what bodybuilding was when I first started lifting weights. I just looked at like models and abs, and I was like, oh, abs are a pretty cool thing. Like I think everybody's into abs, so I guess I want abs, and that's what I learned. So when I started lifting weights, that's why I wanted to do it, just to get abs so that I look good for the girls or something. So that's why I started lifting. In terms of like, does it make a difference or not? So this apartment complex that I live in has a sauna and steam and jacuzzi and everything, and everybody can come and use it. So I walked down to the jacuzzi like maybe 2 weeks ago or something, and I've seen these older women, like 40s and 50s or something. I've seen them like twice before, and they're just always chilling in the pool, and I think they're always drunk too. So I saw them, yeah. So I saw them for like the second time, and I was like, "Hey, how's it going? Nice meeting you and stuff." And I walked into the jacuzzi and stuff, and she was like, "Yeah, nice seeing you." I was like, "Yeah, nice seeing you." And she was like, "No, no, no, really nice seeing you. Thank you." So, so I was like, "Oh, okay." But I just, shut up and like gone into the jacuzzi. And there was like three young guys, like teenage kids in the jacuzzi or something. And then later on, then I move into the sauna after, and then that lady follows me inside into the sauna, and then she starts chatting me up and stuff over there, and like she's hitting on me like crazy. So does it make a difference? I mean, I think
Mhm.
it definitely makes a difference.
I think
I
so.
mean,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
because
yeah,
dude,
definitely.
the kid in the kids in the sauna, one of them was her son, so she was hitting on me in front of her son. So that was the epic part. He was like,
Bro,
Attraction.
yeah,
just think about these stories. Like, think about these stories just with lifting and changing and transforming your body and all of that. Like, now you can make an absolute killer if you fucking master this
oh
other
yeah,
arena too. Yeah,
Mm,
then
of
you can
course,
create a
yeah,
killer. Yeah, you just,
that's
it's
it.
incredible because you're absolutely
Yeah.
right. Like, a lot of bodybuilders don't tap into this, and I think it's kind of cool. We're,
no, they
merging
don't.
both industries. The bodybuilding and stuff. Yeah, like, they don't get it, man. You could take that, how far you've gone with lifting, and they know you've gotten more attention. Dave always got girls. He wasn't the best looking guy, but like, it's a pretty big industry, right? And it's, a lot of guys just rely on that. He's absolutely right. If you learn nothing about game, you'll still get some decent
Mm-hmm.
above the average guy when it
Yep.
comes to tail, for sure. You're already past the average guy with no idea of game or no nothing. You just get it
Yep.
based on attention and a little bit of your conversational skills. That's it.
Totally agree with that,
Yeah.
man. Like, physical attraction is so powerful. It's so fucking powerful, dude. Like,
Yeah.
that is an aspect of ourselves. Why would you not cultivate one of the most powerful weapons you have? Like, think about it, man. Like, when I see a chick who's just really attractive, really well built, dude, I'm already kind of interested. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna respond to a chick who's got a fat ass, tight waist, right? Nice
Yep.
boobs. I'm invested. Yeah, game on. I'm about to approach. Uh, right there, by the way, Keaton, those two chicks who, escalated on you in the sauna. If it was Scotty GLL, he would have closed right there, just so you know. Yeah.
Yeah,
I had similar situations in spas and bathhouses and stuff like that. And I escalated very, very hard. And in the back of my mind, I was like, yeah, I know Scotty would fucking pull some shit out. He'd be in the shower with this chick right now. And these are good things to have in the mind. So that's good shit, bro. But like, yeah, like our physical form, it's how we interface with the world, right? And people respond to it, like it or not, dude. They just do. People can feel your presence. People can feel your vibe of masculinity. You know what I mean? So why would you not cultivate it? I think it's absolutely accurate what Brian just said there. You nail your physique. These guys have got a great physique, like yourself, Keaton.
There would be no GLO, man. I think that's why me and Chris connected back in the day when we first met each other at that pickup bench, and everybody else that was in the house was kind of like skinny, dorkish guys who didn't really train
yeah,
at all. So
Get the fuck.
they all,
yeah,
yeah. So immediately, Brad brought us together, and that
The
was his
meatheads came
idea.
together.
Yeah,
yeah,
we
yeah,
just came together and we just clicked, and we were talking all the time, once a week, and just, it really worked out. I don't think me and Chris had this great verbal game at that point, and we really we relied heavy upon our looks, and just that
hmm
confidence that came with all those years of training and stuff. And
Hmm.
those other guys, obviously, you could see they had to work a lot harder. They were putting way more attention on the
yeah,
verbals. We could say, even if it was like an uncomfortable silence, and I didn't know the next best thing to say, my presence alone and his would be able to carry some of it along. Like,
Yep.
make some bold move. I was more adept at this big jacked up guy, to maybe grab her by the hands. That type of move was congruent with how I looked and felt. I think for a scrawnier guy, he can do that, but it's going to feel a little more awkward at first. I think these big jacked up guys who are dominating like that, they're more comfortable in their skin when it comes to escalating in physical touch. So I always felt comfortable to like go to that pretty quickly because I didn't want to waste time, nor do I think that that was ever my strength to just spit mad game for mad hours. Like, it's either blow me or blow me out pretty quickly. I can talk with girls, but it was never my strength. You know what I mean? But that's why I think me and Chris clicked, and I think that's why GLL even existed, man.
Dude, it's so true. Like, I don't know how you feel about that, Keaton, but like, I moderate the offspring from GLO, right? Andy created it. Now, like, I'm running it now. It's actually my forum. We got almost 3,000 dudes there, and I see it every day. The dudes who really put the work in on themselves, who really crushed it in the gym, who became the most attractive version of themselves. These dudes, They can go out there with like less game, like less verbal ability than myself, who's been grinding in the streets every fucking day, and they get some really great results. So the way I look at it, dude, like this is ultimately I said to myself, I'm gonna give this area of my life a complete focus, right? So I'm gonna leave nothing, off limits. I'm gonna max my physique out, take another 3 years, 4 years, whatever, dude. Max my game out, max my vibe out, all that shit to get the best outcomes that I can get. So why would you not like take your training really, really seriously? Which is why we want to have this message today, so the guys who at least follow us can know the truth, right? Put your time and energy into developing yourself. Really apply yourself in the gym and take on the wisdom from what we've shared here today. You're going to actually have to progressively overload to get properly strong and develop the muscle, take your nutrition really seriously. And as you really get to the higher levels of physique, then I think the thing that I'm really looking forward to is being able to run a little bit less game and get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
because
That's why we always are looking. That's why we're always looking to collab with fitness guys or other fitness creators, because I
absolutely,
think
man.
that's one of the most overlooked things in this space right now. I think if you could build that foundation like Keaton and whatever 15 years in the game, you walk differently. That you could build an absolute machine and killer if you combine both of these things together. And I think that's why we want to keep making people aware of this shit. Like that's why we want to go on RX Muscle. We want to keep making that monthly thing with Dave, because the more people in the fitness world that becomes hip to like, wow, I could actually learn game too, and both of these things could work together for me and get crazy results. Why the hell not, man? I think
For
some
sure.
people get content where they are and satisfied where they are, right? You could get satisfied with that, but imagine like someone who is a big time fitness creator, like really put all of his energy and attention into like game too, he would be an absolute monster. It's
Yeah,
crazy, man.
it's true. I completely agree, bro. Completely agree. I mean, I see this shit
The
every
first night
day.
I met my last thing, the first night I met Chris, bro. Hear the story real quick.
Yeah.
He was the only guy in the pickup house who actually pulled. So they did a debriefing in the morning, and he went home with this girl. So I was like, this kid, I knew for sure he didn't sound the best, but I knew just the way he looked, the way he carried himself, all that work he put into his body, especially at that time. It definitely, he had an advantage. You could just tell. He was no way better at verbal game than anybody else, man. Trust me. It was the
Yeah.
other stuff that carried him through, you know.
Fucking
Yeah.
epic, epic, beautiful.
I have
I
like
totally.
I have two things to add to the whole thing actually. Um, it's a matter of what we as human beings subconsciously give value to or put at a higher pedestal or something. So like two of the easiest examples of what we do right now is simply clout. Like right now, no matter how many, like if anybody for anything, any reason whatsoever, just has a lot of followers, it doesn't matter what the fuck they're talking about. But if they say I have X million followers or X 100,000 followers, you're just like, who is this person or what are they talking about? Just that, because even clout in today's day and age is a value of status or something like that. It's like, what is it that everybody else is giving status to this person? Maybe they have something interesting and I should give them attention to. So that's one example. The other example is the one that's the oldest one ever, which is basically just money. Which is, in my opinion, why Alex Hormozy is such a big deal, is because he's combined at least two, if not three, of the most important things, which is money. He has a lot of money. That's it. There's nothing special about him versus Grant Cardone versus anybody else. There's nothing special about him at all. But Alex Hormozy is the number one guy. Why? Because he combined that with the fact that he actually looks like a bodybuilder.
Mm.
So, and then you come down to the physique thing, because so this is something I made a video about this called as venostrophobia. I don't know if you guys know what venostrophobia is, but a lot, and actually maybe Ravi, you might actually have the same thing, which is like when you see a beautiful girl, you suddenly start feeling scared. And you
Mm.
suddenly are like, oh, I'm not good enough. Oh, I'm not good enough to talk to her. Oh, well, what am I gonna say? What do you start doing is you start going here. So this is you and this is her. You start putting yourself here and you start putting her up here. And there's nothing has happened. The only thing that's happened is you notice another beautiful girl, That's it. And your mind immediately started putting you down here. Oh, I don't look good enough. I don't have enough money. I'm this guy. I'm that guy. And it started putting her up here, even though you know nothing about her. She might be fucking the most abusive human being on planet Earth, but just because she looks good, you start putting her up here. And the reason why the brain does that is because biologically, I think, I don't know how to put it, but that it's a sexual thing. I forget what it is,
It's
but
called the
that
halo
thing,
effect, right?
I don't know if that, no, I don't think that's what I'm talking about. It's more like it's a thing. It's just a carnal thing in our thing, which is like guys give value to beauty. If the girl's more beautiful, she just has more value. Duh, that's it by default. So just her looks give her more value. That's it. So you will notice that when you see like really pretty girls or something, sometimes for some of us that have issues and stuff, we start putting ourselves down and her up, even though she's done nothing to earn it except just exist with that higher value. That's it. She just exists with that beauty. And that's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
explain is beauty is just is value. Like I could be well, let's say I could be a 15% body fat version of me. I could be a 8 to 10% body fat version of me, and I could be a 25% body fat version of me. And if anybody were to look on those three images, I am the same Ketan said on the inside. I'm the same helpful guy, nice guy, smart guy, same angry guy, whatever. All the pluses and minuses are the same. But the only difference is that in one I look like a ripped god, the other one I look like obese, and one I look like an average Joe.
You
And
don't think that's
everybody's gonna
affecting your state
gravitate.
of mind? That's
No, it
not
does. It
affecting
does.
your
It
state of
does.
mind,
It
bro.
does. But that's different. We're not talking about from the inside out right now. I'm talking from the outside in. So I'm saying if you are the one that's attractive looking, from the outside in, all the girls are going to be looking at you with higher value, even though you might be the same person with all the other same faults and everything else too. And you might be a quote unquote worse cash than some of the other guys, maybe. But
Right.
just because you look better, they will give you, because you have better looks, they will give you a higher status and a higher value because
Yep.
it's the human thing. It's the animalistic thing that we do. Is like the better looking the creature is, that we just give it higher value. It's just a very normal biological default thing.
Yeah.
Now, the other side effect is what you said. Yes, if I look at 6 to 8% body fat, yes, of course, I'm going to feel really good too. And I know that I look that good too. And therefore, I'm going to have big dick alpha child confidence too. So that's a different thing from the inside out and the outside in. They're both different things. But I'm trying to explain where the looks thing kind of comes in, like why looks matter so much. Because looks just do. They're just a biological thing that matter. That's it. There's no like getting around it. It's biologically just there.
Mm.
You know what's crazy too? Look at a guy like Ravi, bro. They were blown away by this guy's transformation, and that's without any cosmetic
That's what I'm
surgery or
saying.
anything like that, dude. When I first saw when I seen his pictures of his face and shit like that's crazy, bro. We can all
That's what I'm saying.
absolutely
Yeah.
enhance, go up a couple points, definitely, man. If they take care of ourselves,
Oh, 100%.
it's critical. It's critical, man.
Yeah. This is an empowering discussion because as we all know, looks are malleable. They're not set in stone, man.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
not a death
yes.
it's not a death sentence. Like regardless of you guys both know I used to be a big fat motherfucker, used to be obese. Yeah. And that was due to a variety of factors, but mostly it was just my psychology was just in a bad space, man. Your best thinking gets you where you are. My thinking was that I was not worthwhile. I was not going to end up with anybody. I'm going to die alone. That manifested in becoming very fat. Actually, that was all bullshit. It was not the case. I have a thriving dating life. I got plenty of action. I'm going to get more and more and more, right? Because fact of the matter is, as I physically improved, then along with improvements in game, I got outcomes. So that goes to show through actually improving my looks and my game, both of them at the same time, I created a lot more successful outcomes. So even if I was bad looking and yeah, I used to live like that and it was not fun, let me tell you, I could tell you some crazy shit. Like, how people just treat you is not great. Like
Yeah, no, people just treat exactly. People
really
treat
bad.
people differently.
Really
Yes,
bad,
people
dude. Really
just
bad.
treat people differently. Exactly.
And then
Just based
a-
off their looks.
and as that has now become the past, this version of Ravi, he gets a very different experience. When I rock up and even like in a basic customer service interaction, just chatting to them, I'm a very confident dude. I'm a dude. Keaton, you were just talking about how like, some guys when they're approaching beautiful women, they can feel that there's no part of me that feels that. I approach women, beautiful women. I don't care, bro. I do not care. I've already approached 7,000 plus. That don't matter to me. What matters is the ones that are going to bring value to my life. Because I know where I'm going in this life. I know I'm going to be very successful in this life. It's no doubt to me. So abundance in every area is my destiny. I'm not worried about whether someone's beautiful or not because I got options. So like all it takes now for this version of me to rock up and just chat normally, and I can tell they're like giggling and laughing, and the back of my mind, I'm like, I remember when I was fat, they would not say two words to me, man. So the motivating factor is if you do the work and improve, yeah, you can actually enjoy all this shit. It's there for the taking, and that's what we're doing here. That's what we're doing with the Scotty GLL Brotherhood. And that's what people like yourself, Keaton, inspire people to do. It's a very great investment for someone so they can start to get a lot of great things going for them. Now,
I think Keaton would agree with me on this one. That's a great story, Robbie. But it's like, I think to be me personally, like obsessed over something or a craft or whatever you're really focusing on, whether it's Warcraft right now, whatever you're doing, like to be obsessed with two things at once, I can never really do. Like once I realized lifting and that obsessive thing with bodybuilding and everything kind of took a back seat. I did take a back seat, and I was just became obsessed with women. There was no way I with the limited amount of time to be as equally obsessed with both. I just
no, I know what you're saying.
That, very,
I know exactly
very difficult to do. Find that very difficult to do, man. And I think that's the issue when it comes to merging with these other fitness creators. It's the ego, whether or not they want to be willing to sacrifice what they've built up all those years. And I'm sure the longer I would have stayed in bodybuilding, the harder it would have been for me to let a lot of that stuff go. Yeah,
of course,
that's the conflict, I think, with a lot of these guys. And that's why, you get a lot of fucking negative feedback from these guys. They don't want to hear it because they're so established in their bodybuilding careers, whether you compete or don't compete, you take it serious nonetheless, so that's the dilemma for most guys. And you got to be, at that point in time, I think the validation for women was more satisfying and more rewarding than just getting validation from guys and maybe winning a trophy here and there. And just, I felt like that took priority by far over just continuing to build. Like, how far do I want to take this? That was my next question. Dave was saying, you look miserable in backstage, because at some point, there was coming a lot of negative things with that. And I just felt like the better choice at that point was to put this on the back burner, not stop altogether, still be there, but by no means have the same 24/7 living and breathing bodybuilding and diets and everything I did. It's just very hard to do both.
So actually even literally just playing, because right now I'm obsessed with Fortnite, right now I'm obsessed with a video game, and I kid you fucking not, there are certain days that I actually miss my meals because if I want to become top 1% in the game, I need hours, right? Like, you need practice, you need experience, right? Experience comes through hours. So I know that every hour that I spend in the game, I'm moving up the ranks or something. So obviously that hour is not being utilized for meal prep. Obviously, that hour is not being used to eat the fucking food, right? And like, dude, so for the past 2 to 3 weeks that I've been playing, I've been liquidizing all my meals. I fucking just drink shakes,
bro.
I don't eat food. Yeah, I don't eat chicken and rice. I just liquidize all my meals.
Bro, Keaton, you can literally apply. You're hitting the nail on the head. You can literally apply that to whatever we're discussing, whether it's you're spending way too much time in the office or your trade. You're like, a lot of these guys are running to the same issue. Like, how am I gonna get really, really good at that? It's going to take me years and years to really master the picking up women, the social skills, and all of that.
But you don't
need
to master shit though. Well, most people in my opinion, I don't think there's anybody that I know that's come with the objective, I want to be fucking James Bond, I want to be a fucking I was gonna say serial killer, but you know what I mean, I want to be like a killer, you know what I mean? I don't know a single person like that. I don't know anybody like that. most people that want help, even myself, was like, oh, dude, I can't talk to fucking any girls. I'm gonna die alone. Jesus fuck, can I just fucking get my dick wet? And then it goes a little bit higher from there. You know, it's like, okay, cool. I can get some girls, but
Yeah.
now I want like
Right.
a better girl. You know what? And something like that.
Mm.
And then okay, I just want something meaningful. You know, like at the end of the day, you want something. I mean, I feel like you want something meaningful with whoever you're getting with. So
Yo,
most guys aren't going to become killers, right? Like
yeah.
most guys don't want to step on stage in their fucking man thongs. Most guys just want to get to 14-15% body fat and just lose the fucking stomach fat. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to get to an extreme. And everybody can get there. That's the point. Is like, where do you want to go? Everybody can get there. Because most people just want just the basic level of results.
Mm.
And just what you were saying earlier too. I know this is a little off topic, but how you were genuinely happy for us, by the way, or whatever. You know, seriously, that's what the beauty of this brotherhood is. Like, I when I saw you with a girlfriend, I didn't even know that. Like, I was like
Yeah.
genuinely happy to see that she was taking part in your videos and things like that.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's awesome, bro. I genuinely feel that, whether it's Andy when he shows his girlfriend on camera, like,
Yeah.
or
I feel really
yeah,
happy for, I mean, again, fingers crossed and touch wood. Yeah, I'm really happy for Andy and what he's doing, what he has with Imogen. Like,
yeah, bro.
I
Like,
feel really
I
good.
love
Yeah.
the feeling when I see that. I genuinely have like good feelings and good vibes towards guys that have embraced me when I've come back and everything like that. And I know that we're all, you know, we're all connected, man, in terms of like, well, we're all fairly like minded in a lot of things. We like to discuss these things. Some people think this is absolutely fucking retarded and a waste of time, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
And then
it
these
is.
dudes, the same dudes watching 40 hours of TV a week, watching Netflix all day, you know, scrolling TikTok, scrolling fucking pornography, scrolling, you know, Instagram all day. Those dudes, man, they're actually suffering. They're the statistics and the mental health crises and all that. They're the dudes who are out there, you know, not even becoming top 5% in mind. Bro, I don't play no video games. I don't even.
Fortnite.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, dude. You know that shit like that shit. This is what I read about. You know, these guys who get like really obsessed with video games. You know, like these guys who play like World of Warcraft and shit. I had a real good friend back in the day, and like his brother actually had proper gaming addiction to World of Warcraft, like legit, properly addicted, right? So this fucking dude, you know, multiple days he wouldn't eat, wouldn't shower, like
Mm.
fuck all that, you know. He had to like really detoxify from it and all that sort of shit. And I heard some stories, man. Like he was fully addicted, and he wasn't really even considered addicted by that community standards. There's dudes who like pee him
Yeah,
hot.
yes, I
Pee
know.
him,
I know.
yeah.
I
Well, that
know. I
what's
know
going
them.
on?
Yeah.
Well, so talk to us about this, man. Like, yeah, you know, I know you're a fucking a smart dude. You know, you like to master shit. You know, you want to turn your
Yeah.
intellect. Talk to us about what the fuck's going on with Fortnite right now.
No, you know what it is? It's just it's what you said. It's like I just like to master stuff. I just like a new challenge, and I just like to get really good at that thing. Like I like new problems to solve. So I like a new challenge. I like the problem. I want to solve that problem. I want to get good at it. And then as soon as that thing is done, like as soon as I feel like that itch has gone away, the thing, you know, that was like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. As soon as that thing goes away, then I'm done. Then I don't care anymore. And that's the thing with game too, like, right? Because I'm very happy with where I'm at, and I have been happy with the results I've had in the past. Do I want way better results? Of course. Like, I mean, it's like, do you want more money? Most of the times it's gonna be yes. But it's like, do you want to work more hours to make more money? And I'm like, no. So then you don't want more money. So okay, yeah, so I don't. You know, so it's like, do you want to do more approaches and make or work way harder, do more approaches to get more lays? No. So then yeah, clearly you don't want any more. But I'm spending 10 to 12 hours in this game right now because it's just something that clicked and it's just hooked me. Right. So far now I give a shit about this thing.
Mhm.
And I'm not gonna lie to you when I say this, but today I was feeling like maybe I'm a little bit bored, you know, because I did it for 3 weeks. I'm like top 0.5%, top 1%. And I was like, maybe I'm just a little bit bored now. You know, yeah.
You think the
I
And
girlfriend also
by the way,
made you?
sorry,
You
sorry.
think?
Let me add one more thing. I hired a Fortnite. I paid a Fortnite coach $200, and I like had this guy watch over my shoulder when I was playing the game, so that he could teach me how to play the fucking game.
bro.
Yeah, I
That's
swear to God, yeah,
That's fucking dope, man.
yeah.
I'm
Because you
gonna
know
say
why?
something.
I'll tell you why. Because dude, I reached top 1% by myself he didn't help me. Like I watched his videos. I mean, I watched that stuff and I did the stuff. So I reached top 1% by myself, but I haven't played this game in 6 fucking years, so I don't know anything about it. Right? But this guy's been playing for at least a year and a half plus. So as soon as I hopped on, it was like if Ravi sends me videos of his fucking deadlift, I'll be like, oh my God, that grip is wrong. Okay, you're looking there. Look at your eyes here. Put your feet together. As soon as he sends me one clip, I'll check like 20 different things that he's doing wrong. Right. But he's still making gains. Right. So it's not like he's not making gains. It's like he's still making gains despite doing so many other wrong things. So when I started playing with him, I'll tell you, here's what I do. Because this is the same thing that happens with me in kickboxing. Because I'm into kickboxing right now. I'm into sparring and stuff. So the first couple of days I went in, I would just fucking go in. Like when I play video games, I just hop on top of the person's head, no matter where he is. I jump on top of him and I fucking spray him down and I kill him. I'm like, I have this super duper big dick, aggressive alpha chat energy thing going on. I just hop onto their fucking head, even though they're hiding or something, and I try and spray them down. And I try to do that in kickboxing, and I'm getting fucking smashed. Like people are knocking me out, people are kicking me in the groin, people are fucking kicking me in the liver, and I'm getting, I'm passing out and shit. And that's when I realized, like, okay, that's my super aggressiveness coming out. And these guys are just waiting for an opening, just because they're experienced, right? They're waiting for an opening and they pop me. Right? I'm going in like guns blazing and they wait for one opening and they pop me. So it took me like 4 weeks of getting smashed. And then I was like, no, you know what? I'm going to play it slow now. Now I'm going to wait. I'm just going to because I'm really good at feinting stuff and everything. So I'm just going to wait. I'm just going to go for openings. And now I'm kicking these guys' asses in 4 weeks.
Damn, bro.
So the same thing happened with the Fortnite thing. It was like when he saw me playing, you have 250 health. So he saw me playing and I get like 2 shots, which is like 60 or 70 health. And I jump in, I rush in. And he saw me do it like 3 times and he's like, okay, I already see everything that's wrong. He's like, you're jumping in at like 70 damage health because a shotgun pump is like 200. So you're just running towards him and he's gonna blast you with a shotgun because you think that you have the advantage. So he told me, you're not gonna be aggressive. You're gonna do this, this, this. All I want you to do is he's gonna chase me and I want you to run. I want you to find the right shoulder peaks and I want you to find this and this. You know what I mean? What I'm trying to explain is he knows the mechanics of the thing. My skills are already there, but I don't have the depth of the shit that he knows that he's been playing for a year and a half. Does that make sense?
This does make sense. This is a good topic. Here's why this is a good. Here's why this is a fucking great topic.
Keetan, this is on my head real quick. Where do you stand right now when it comes to like putting as much time into a game? You said you really cut back on that. And do you feel like the girlfriend has made you like almost satisfactory? Because I noticed that with a lot of guys who have steady girls.
100%.
100%. It makes you very complacent, like, and you're 100%. Kind of okay. You're getting sex regular, like, yeah. That's what I noticed. That happened to me personally, and happens to a lot of guys. So, what on a scale of 1 to 10, where's your like devotion towards pickup and stuff like that, meeting new women, keep it sharpening your sword?
2, maybe 3.
2 or
like
3?
If I see a beautiful girl or something, then I'll approach her, but I'm not going out with an intent. I don't have any dating profiles, even though we're trying to make some together for some stuff that we're doing together. Because me and her want to get into we just did. We're getting into threesomes and stuff like that. So we're making profiles and all that kind of stuff, but I haven't made anything yet. It's like it's so low on the
thing.
It's just I just don't care. I just don't care at this point.
I appreciate your honesty, man. That's dope. That's cool, man. I mean, sometimes it's just where we are, man. I mean, like back when I did that interview with Chris back in January, I had no idea where I was going to take this. I had no clue. I didn't even think I'd be coaching. I didn't think anything. I mean, if you re-listen to that interview, I had no idea, man, what was going on. So I was not even, I thought it was finished, really. I was like, he was encouraging me a little bit, but I had no clue. It was probably the same thing, probably like even lower than that, bro. Probably like a 1, because I didn't even have a girlfriend to like chill with once in a while at that point. So it was a pretty low period of time, but it turned around pretty quickly.
Because the heart and soul is there, the spirit is there, man. There's no fucking way it was not going to turn around, man. As soon as you are re-emerging in the world, it's month after month, you're back because the spirit is there, and that is all.
You were like, honestly, out of everybody, you 2 guys were like the welcomed me back the most by far. You made it a point to like reach out. Keaton, on some of my early videos, he wrote like long, nice messages. Like, anytime you want to talk, let me know. Like, you guys, out of everybody else, were really fucking embraced me. I'll never forget that, man. That was really dope.
Of course, man. Well,
Oh, my pleasure, dude.
of course. And the impact that you have in this world is fucking transformative. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
I
how
agree.
big a deal fucking Scotty is. You know, like big. You will never really understand the depth of impact like GLL Scotty had.
Yeah, that's
The,
what I was gonna say. Like, if you understand what the butterfly effect is, right?
yeah, yeah. So you go ahead and you can riff on this, kid.
Scotty, do you know what the butterfly effect is?
Go ahead, explain it to me. I don't know really.
I don't know the exact whatever explanation, but the thing is, like, a butterfly somewhere in another corner of the world, like the flapping of its wings can cause like a hurricane or some shit on the other side of the planet or something. It's like the ripple effect, like a drop of water, ripple. No matter how big the reservoir or something is, you can feel it, because that little one drop can be felt literally everywhere.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, and that thing is basically what GLL was for me, right?
Yeah.
That's what Chris
Mm.
was for me. And for Chris, it was you. Like, Chris wouldn't have been as good at game if you weren't his wing and with him and you guys didn't do the things or something together. So there's a big possibility that Chris, he would have still figured it out, obviously, but he may not have been as good at it. He may not have learned as much. And had he not shared the stuff, I would have never learned about it either. Right. So it's
Yeah,
it's all about
I
the
personally, I did not even know how big of an impact I had on him, man. It's only until he expresses that or comes out of nowhere and writes a whole article about me when I'm going to retire or things like that, and he just always expressed his gratitude. Like, I didn't know I was impacting him that much. I was just being
Mm.
me, and we would spend hours and hours on the phone with each other. Yeah, we were across the country from each other, and we linked up only like a handful of times, but we did spend entire weekends together, footage, drinking, watching football together. He bought my parents like gift certificates, some fancy restaurants. So he definitely has a warm place in my heart. Right when I got started, we started like a GoFundMe. And that's another thing. Like, wow, I didn't know I would have raised that much money. Guys just coming out of the woodwork. Thank you so much, Scotty, for doing this. And it
Yeah,
was up
that's what
over
I'm that's
2,000.
exactly where it came
Yeah,
from, right? Because
Yeah.
yes,
we raised
that's where it came from.
over $2,500, bro. That was pretty surprising. That was fucking wild, man. So that's how I got my foot back in the door, really.
It's the spirit you have, Brian, is why it is. Like you are the fucking essence of GLR. Like you must understand this. It's like it goes so far beyond your utter dedication and drive to accomplishing shit, having a vision and getting it done. What you did in bodybuilding, how you pursued that, like a fucking man possessed. Like the way you do things, right? The way you think, the way you come up with these concepts. All of this stuff came pretty much from you, dude. If you look at a lot of what Chris wrote, those ideas, he came from those many conversations with you, crystallizing these ideas, like listening to you, and he wouldn't really say much on those calls. I understand he was mostly listening, and you, the essence that came out from you, that inspired so many other guys who just absorbed it. Like literally, it goes into
Yeah.
them. It goes
You know
into
those
them.
other
Like,
Max dudes and
we
everybody that
also
you
had a
keep
lot.
talking about?
Yeah,
Those
we
guys
also
are successful in other aspects of their life because they also are getting or were getting laid by other girls because of stuff that they learned from you and GLL. That's why they're reaching out to you now, even after 5 years later or 10 years later or something, because they know you from back then. And they're
mm,
also
yeah,
making that much bank money because of stuff that does that make sense?
yeah,
Does it listen? Because people would like, let's say if some guy put 10 years into making money, right? But he's now concentrated on making money now because he got his got laid phase done in a year, 2 years, 3 years before. And if you
right.
were a part of the year, 2 years, 3 years getting laid phase, that's a very significant part because you helped him resolve like one of the biggest insecurities that a man generally has in life. So the 10 years of making money that he did without your help came from a base where you helped.
yeah, and
That's
Yeah, for
why.
sure, man.
Yeah.
and I want to add
And by the
that.
way, just some of those conversations, it wasn't just solely Chris listening. Like, we also had a lot more in common than even just pickup. That was a big aspect of it, but like,
For sure.
we could also go hours and hours talking on the phone about like, we also had the substance thing in common, and he was into whatever,
Yeah.
just even like performance enhancing stuff and things to get the edge and certain, you know drugs that might help in terms of like being more social and things like that. We would
yeah.
spend hours on that, and he was like doing mad research on all this stuff. Like I said, I was hip to kratom when he first put me onto it back in like 2008. It was barely popular at that point. So things like that we could talk about. We had sports in common. We could spend hours talking about sports. We could talk about lifting and then also pick up. So we would go back and forth. He would help me. He was a smart dude. Like he would help me in other issues I would have in life. And he would have a good input going back and forth. Chris is the type of guy he could speak to anybody and people would get off the phone with him and go, dude, that's a really nice guy. Like my dad used to go hours on the phone with him when play Madden together online. They would have Madden play each other in Madden all the time. And he always liked Chris. Chris was an easy guy to get along with, and he always had a lot of input to give in whatever you're going through, He wasn't just he's not a one-dimensional guy.
No, man.
No. He isn't.
Like anyone
do you want me to add in why I love Chris? Like what made me love Chris?
Go ahead. Yeah, go for it, man.
His dick pics. His dick, I swear to God. And not in a homo way. Not in a homo way. No,
you have to explain this, Keaton. What is going on?
Yeah.
This podcast is taking a direction
I don't give a shit, bro.
Expecting. Like,
I don't give a shit, bro. You guys can think I'm gay. I don't give a shit,
bro. Big Christiotis is big old bathmate dick. What's going on?
Yeah, that bathmate dick, yeah. No, all those pictures that he had inch measurements. Oh, look, it was this much first and now it's this much. So the reason why is because I found his stuff because it's something to do with bodybuilding or the sauce, or maybe that one, the plight of the lonesome bodybuilder, one of those things, right? But I found him because I was into lifting and girls, and I saw this guy's a jack dude who's also talking about girls. But the reason why I started trusting him is because he literally put his dick pics out with his face and everything there. And I was like, okay, if this guy, and this is back in the days of 2012, 11, 12, 13. That's when people did not people did not put dick pics out there with their faces on. So I was like, okay, if this dude can put his fucking dick pics out with his face on just to tell me that this bathmate that he's using is legit, to help me with my penile enhancement shit, then I know I can trust him.
Dude, that's like,
bro, you're absolutely you brought up a good point. That was another topic of conversation. Something else that we really had in common and we really like connected with too, because as you can see here, man, we got the LA pump, man. Buy one link in description, man. These things are game changers. These things are a little more convenient than the bathmate.
I literally never used one.
A little more convenient than the bathmate because you don't need to actually get like wet and fill it up with water. So it's way more convenient and just as effective, man. It's a badass device, man. It definitely crazy gains, man, for sure.
And like another thing, when it comes to putting his face out there, like another thing is infields.
Hold on. Be in tune for Scotty's dick pics on ScottyWingman.com.
So he's legit. Yeah. You're gonna see the LA pump dick this time.
Because some guy's gonna come along who's thinking like Keaton right now. Is like, yo, you know what made me really, really like Scotty connect with him? He started fucking posting pictures of his dick.
Man.
Yeah.
Look, man. Like, showing that you got skin in the game and dick in the game, you know what I mean? It's gonna hit different. Like another thing is
it's not even that, bro. You know what it is? Like everybody has advice. Everybody has advice and all kinds of advice, and everybody's trying to give self-improvement guru. So here's the reason why I don't like Hamza, right? His original advice was really good, but the advice that he gives and what he does are literally polar opposites. And therefore, I can't trust him. Because he says he don't abstain from. He says abstain from sex and abstain from dating and girls and whole phase and all that shit. But he's finished his whole phase and he slept with so many different girls and he's done the whole online dating thing and on all that kind of stuff all the fucking time. He's done all of it. But he tells all of his guys to abstain from sex. And I can go into like a big, you know, like this thing detail. But the thing is, you cannot abstain from sex as a fucking 18-year-old kid up to the age of
No,
25,
man.
28. You can't abstain from sex at that age, which is the age to get that shit out. He wants you to make money. And I'm like, no,
That's a
dudes
Fuck
are
horrific.
off.
supposed to.
Get
It's
the
the
fuck
exact
out of here.
opposite.
Get the
It's the
fuck out
exact
of here.
opposite.
Keetan, you're gonna end up
This-
denouncing everybody. You're gonna end up denouncing everybody then on the internet, because everybody pretty much in this red pill space is basically, that's their prescription, is to focus on money,
Make money
and
and
your whatever,
Yeah, yeah.
and the gym.
Fucking.
That's everybody in this space.
But
I
I'm
think
not
that's
in the
what
red pill. I'm not
Yeah.
in the manosphere, bro.
None of us
I
here.
know that much. I don't
No,
think
no,
I'm in the
none of us are.
manosphere for sure.
None of us are.
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
nail into
sadly the
this.
manosphere is all bitches, bro, dude. I'm
Yeah.
sorry, but
Let's nail into this, man. Let me, because Keaton, you got me fucking pissed off now, because I don't watch this shit, right? I stick to my Scotty and my Chris. I stuck to them the whole fucking time. They got me all the way from where I used to be to where I am now, and I just stick with them. I've seen a whole generation of men. I've seen a whole generation of men.
Yo, I just want
become
to tell you,
crazy.
Robbie, I love you, bro. I love you, man, because one of these guys, you're right, Keaton. Like, I don't realize how dedicated we have. Some diehard fans, bro, for real. Like, I didn't know how diehard they were. Like, even you mentioned Max before. When I work with Max, bro, like when I started mentioning some of these other coaches, or when you listen to anybody else, he like looked at me like kind of pissed off. He's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, I don't know. He goes, "I don't," and he was dead serious. He goes, "I don't know any of these fucking guys you're talking about, dude." He's like, "I just fuck with you and Chris, and that's it, man." He goes, "That like these guys are really hardcore GLO. Like they don't even branch out really, which is kind of normal. I would think a lot of guys seen this guy or that guy, or
yeah, I do.
minds
Yeah.
all over the place.
Yeah.
But like, you know, a lot of these guys don't fucking even know these people or go elsewhere. They found what works for them and they stick with it, man. So I respect that. But I'm sorry, Robbie. Carry on, man.
Yeah, man. It's like I've seen a whole generation of men from GLL Crush become very, very successful, bro. We got a whole like a cohort. Like Andy's from there, man. Look how many people came up from Andy. Like I look how many client results he produced in time after time after time. When I was the first guy to join his group, bro, like he had us reading Chris's articles, bro. Like he says, go back and
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
consistently. Like because Chris is brilliant. These two and Scotty too, man. These guys are fucking brilliant. These guys are the best, in my opinion. They still got the overall best paradigms and principles, right? And here's the thing, right? When it comes to goodness, go focus on fucking making money. Are you shitting me? You know what I call this? I call it kicking the ladder away. So these motherfuckers climb the ladder, get up, get their needs met, become a better man, and then they kick the ladder away so no one else can fucking go up it and ascend to where they did. You know what I mean? That's how this shit is.
You know what's the funniest part? They say that about you. That's what he says about you. He's like, don't learn from my mistakes. I made these mistakes. Please learn from my mistakes. Do not make these mistakes. Yeah, that's what he said. He literally says the exact same opposite thing about you. He's like, no, I made those mistakes. That was a mistake. I should not have done. Da, 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 da. Yeah.
The thing about this is right. This is to describe what developed you, what allowed you to become a better man, is a mistake, is an error in paradigm. If you can't have the self-awareness to see, this is why I became better. This is what's allowed me to. This is what facilitated so much of my growth, because I was able to address my pain points that drove me into improving in the first place. Then you've got a limited view of things. To get ahead, to have a real successful roadmap of achievement, you need to see the big picture. This was one of the things that both Chris and Scotty were very adept at. They understood the deeper psychology. Go back and listen to those podcasts. They really understood it very adeptly. When you start to really take care of yourself internally, your desires and your needs are sacred. That shit's never gonna go away, bro. It never went away. I'll give you my example, right? I focused on making money until I was 29. Yeah. Until I was 29. Promotion after promotion after promotion, right? Fucking going to relatively elite university, all that shit. All that shit, yeah. Mentored by prominent people. I was mentored by the Secretary of State for Defense, man. And all this shit, like goodness, I could tell you a lot of achievements in my life in that whole area, right? In money and career. I was a virgin until 29, right? I was having a really difficult time internally, and it poisoned every area of my life, and it made me extremely hurt inside, fucking traumatized to the bone, dude. That's where that advice gets you, man, because those desires, they're human, they're visceral, they come from the absolute core of your heart and soul. It's so important to go into them. It's so important to not ignore them. you will damage yourself, and it might be permanent if you don't address these things. Yeah.
I actually think it's a cope, man. I think it's a little bit of a cope that like guys secretly like either had their heart broken or failed miserably in high school, or they got rejected a bunch of times, and for whatever reason, then they're just like, yo, fuck these bitches, you know, let's just focus on money. That's what it sounds like. It's coming from that place. That's what it really sounds like. Is it always like that? No, but it definitely, a lot of these dudes that sound like that, like, you know, don't worry about girls, just focus on money, 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 train, 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 and just occupy your mind to get away. Sounds like someone who's hurt, who's like, just forget women, you know, put them on the back burner. Yeah, they'll come as a byproduct. No, like, nah, bro, like, nah, I don't know. They've either seen that in the movies, society's told you that. That's it's a fallacy, dude. It really is. And again, like, I've been in a situation where I've had money. You know, I've had a lot of money. Never had to worry about money. Always working for my father. And now I actually am struggling more. My dad's the family business is, you know, I don't have a lot of money right now. So you would think, oh, why don't you just focus on that? I still, like you just said, Robbie, it's like inherent desires. Like I still, you know, have urges and to fucking have sex and to go out there and socialize and connect with other human beings, you know, and especially women, you know what I mean? Because, you know, maintaining a relationship with a woman is quite different than maintaining one with another male. That's facts, dude.
Yeah.
So,
I actually have some. So I actually have like some clean advice, like a really like clean slate TLDR kind of advice for guys that are coming up. And that is there's two layers to this. One is don't compare yourself to your parents and or to your parents' ages or something. Like my parents, when they were already, I mean, because they were already married, I don't know when, but they were already married pretty young or something, and you know, building money and all that kind of stuff, because they didn't have this whole dating thing going on back and everything else, all this market, all this online abundance, this, that, finding a good partner, all of these things are a big deal right now. Trying to find the right partner is a big thing now. It wasn't such a big thing back then. And back then, yeah, you could get into making money, and you know, that was the thing. Now, you know what people keep saying, 30 is the new 40 and 20, you know, 40 is the new 50 and all that shit. I know that cliched shit, but it's true though. Like, what is that? 30 is the new 20. I swear to God, 30 is the new 20, which is because most guys otherwise think, you know, I'm going to go to college, uni or something, and, you know, finish by 2021, and boom, I'm going to get into the market and start making money. I'm going to immediately start making money in bank. And I'm here sitting, like, I'm like, dude, your 20s all the way up until 30, if you want, like, you have a whole fucking decade. All I want you to do is just lift weights, look as good as you can, get as many girls as you possibly can, and just make enough money to survive on your fucking bullshit day job to feed the rest of the shit. Feed the rest of your money should be to feed the rest of the shit, not to build a career. All you want to do right now is lift weights, get your health and everything else in order, build a good physique, and just fuck as much as your to your heart's content and everything else. Just get this part sorted, because 30 onwards, for the rest of your fucking existence, you have to make money. There's no other objective in life to make besides to make money. Like 30 to 40 to 50, and if you want to retire early, you retire at 50, right? You have 20 fucking years to make more than enough money. There's no, you don't need to, and that if you do it smart, then you're going to do it smart. Like, hopefully you're not going to be doing, well, I'm just going to be like, you know, you're going to do it smart at that point, right? But if you're always thinking, no, you know, I also want to get laid. Oh, I also want to do this. Oh, I also want to take care of my health. Then that's when you can't make money, because you're already thinking of 10 different things. But when you know that, okay, I can always get laid, I'm fit, and I'm going to keep and maintain these gains and this muscle and my health and everything else, then it's easy to just make money at that point, because the only thing you need to concentrate and focus on. So yeah, for the first 20 to 30, just lift weights and get girls. And then for the rest of your life, there's nothing else for you to do but to make money. And you can do it till 80 years of age if you want. So at least
that's fucking great.
The thing is, like, being able to have
great. I like that.
This is what Chris's advice is, because I guess he's in this stage right now and in this phase in his life. His thing was that you got to make sure in order to reach that level, like you have a really solid partner with you. It just makes life a lot easier and better. And
Yes.
that should be icing on the cake. If all those years sowing one's oats, you should come out on the other end of that.
That's exactly what I mean. The sowing the
with a
oats
very
thing,
solid, very solid partner. And then, by all means, she's your sidekick or whatever, and compliments you and everything you do, making money wise. But like, if that's missing and you're still vetting girls and you're sleeping with girls, the market kind of dictates where you are in life. It's not the other way around. You can just say, oh, by 30, I'm going to stop and just focus on lifting. Well, did you really reach the levels you wanted to reach with a quality girl? Those are the two questions you have to ask yourself. And if you haven't, then, you have to, I would advise just keep going. Don't focus too much on the numbers, 30, 31, 32, 40, 45, wherever you are, and you got to be just honest with yourself and realistic of where
my advice is more to like 18
goals.
to 20-year-olds right now. Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Like, I can certainly agree with that, man. Ultimately, when you're coming into this, dude, and like you're being told that you have to make all this money and shit, and like you have to ascend to have a good day in life. First of all, that ain't true, right?
No, it's not.
I got a forum full of dudes. Some of these dudes ain't got no fucking job at all, dude. They're getting laid, right? Some of these guys, believe me, I got 3,000 people. I read it every day. Yeah.
Bro, I'm so confused. Like, I don't know why they're pushing this so hard when on their fucking shows and podcasts, women are like so off when it comes to money. They're like so delusional with what they think money is. Like, the average girl does not fucking have a concept for money. So it's proving all their theories wrong. Like, focus on money, focus on money. Meanwhile, all the chicks are proving to you, like, they have no fucking concept of money. They don't really give a shit because they don't understand money. They don't have to really deal with it. Some of these girls, the stories are endless. Like, I blew this amount of money. I don't know this. I think the average salary for most Americans is 100K. Like, they don't have a good concept of money, bro. Like, why would you tell guys that's the primary thing? It's crazy, man. I'm not trying to diminish it. Like I was telling Robbie the other day, it definitely helps facilitate certain things, like be like logistics or vacations, or basically to facilitate a better dating life. That's why money is crucial and important, so that you could put you in the best possible situations to succeed. So you stay fresh, get fresh haircuts, work out, get gym memberships, things like that require money. So yes, it is essential, man. But it shouldn't be it should be the driving force to help you with like a better dating life and to improve in every aspect that you can.
Yeah.
So I had something there actually. What were we talking about? The money thing. Oh yeah, the money thing, dude. I forget who this guy is, but he's on my Instagram. Some black dude, some Nigerian dude, who's trying to be like the next Andrew Tate or some shit, something like that. And he made like a reel, and the reel said, why your girlfriend wants to go out on a date with me? It's because every time she goes out on a date with me, I can take her on my first class private jet and have like, and do
bullshit.
this. And every time we have lunch in a different fucking thing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
I know you are, but this pisses me off. We agree, we all agree here, but this just triggers me, man. Because let me tell you, like, fucking, do you think our bank balance is on our forehead and these chicks?
Yes, I know.
Like, Scotty was banging 4 or 5 chicks in a day. Pulling them into his car. Do you think they fucking gave a shit? Like, no, this is not how it works, man. It's just.
And this is what their rebuttal to all this would be. Well, you won't be able to maintain a girl. You may be able to sleep with the girl, but could you maintain a girl? Like, listen to me. I mean, is that valid? Perhaps, but it will only be brought up if like you're having a tough time making bills and you're living with this girl and trying to support her and stuff like that, or you have a kid. And if you're broke, that might be an issue. We're not advocating really to just be fucking totally broke. Dude. You're going to have it. Yeah, don't be a bum, dude. But it's not like, I don't think it should be primary focus, man. No. At all.
No.
I'm sorry. I want to continue on that one too. Why? Why? Because this is the biggest mistake, including Hamza and every one of these guys. They're pushing everybody onto this path, which is why it's the biggest mistake. Which is that make money to build your status thing up, right? But the problem, you fucking morons, is that then the girl comes for your money and stays for your money. That's what they
Yes.
don't understand. It's like you're
Yes.
getting this fruit, and the flies for this fruit are coming for the fruit, not because of, I don't know what you would be in that case, but not because of you. You know that you're this fruit is bringing these fruit flies. So the thing is, as soon as your money is gone, the girl's gone too.
Yeah.
And this is why, dude. Who do you? This is the thing. Everybody that has money has horrible fucking relationships. Fucking
Mhm.
Jeff Bezos, his wife left him for half of his fucking money. Elon Musk
Yeah.
is a goddamn moron that's been remarried 3 fucking times
Yeah,
and
yeah,
was dating the Johnny Depp Amber Heard chick.
yeah.
Listen to
Um,
me. Listen to me. It's very easy to
there's
sell and it's easy to market because this is the conditioning, bro. This is the absolute conditioning. This is how we're raised. This is in society. This is in the media. This is in music. This is very easy to market because most guys have been rejected by girls. So if you're rejected in that area and you're failing in your dating life
yes,
initially in high school, what is the next best thing? Oh, go make money. Fuck these bitches. It says it
yeah,
in
yeah,
rap
yeah,
Yeah.
songs.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Chase a
yeah,
check,
yeah, yeah,
never
yeah.
chase a
Yep, yep,
bitch.
yep,
That's
yep,
a
yep.
fucking cope. That's because we
Yes, it
failed
is.
and you
It is a
can't.
cope.
Yeah,
But
that's
bro,
what it is.
it
That's
is
all that is, bro.
legitimately, I'm being serious. It's legitimately spiritual enlightenment on this path that we're taking through sex and everything. Because it literally is like once you do get those checks and everything else, and then you get these bitches that want you for the checks, and then you spend time with them and sleep with them, and you realize that they don't even want to cuddle with you after, or you have to
Mm.
pay for every second that she's with you, like in these Gucci bags and this, and then you're like, holy shit,
Mhm.
this feels horrible.
And you
Oh my
fuck.
God, I
Yeah.
feel,
Right.
yeah, I
That
fucked
that
up.
that
This
assumption.
is bad.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Keaton, but you
No, no,
guys
go
are
ahead, guys.
you guys are killing it. This is a great fucking discussion. I'm loving this. That foundational assumption is what will lead. It puts you on the track to misery. That one foundational assumption of saying, okay, I'm gonna go down the avenue of building my financial resilience, and that's gonna give me successful women. That puts you on the track to fucking misery, attracting gold diggers, attracting like value girls, and building that facade. This is my life. This is my high value fucking Instagram and all this fucking shit. That's gonna bring in the most toxic, fucking
Yep,
vapid, substanceless
yep,
people who are gonna suck your soul fucking dry,
yep.
buddy. That's what's gonna
No,
happen.
Keaton, you absolutely nailed it. The reason we're harping on this so much and we're all passionate about it because this is the number one, probably like one of the biggest issues. Like you said, this is a massive issue because it's so heavily conditioned inside of us. Even like buddies that I grew up with and hung out with in my town, this was always brought up. Oh my God, I need to get my money right, but how do you do this, Brian? Like I need to get my money right before I can even do this. Like
Mm,
it's always a but. There's always a built-in excuse. Like I'm not where I want to be financially, so there's no point in doing this, or I don't look this way with my body, so there's no point of even approaching. Like that's why like these things become major hurdles to actually getting success with women, as
yep.
opposed to just going straight for let's get help, let's get mentors, let's do whatever we got to do to just get good at game, and then whatever. Like no more excuses, bro. Like
Yeah,
this is at the root of a lot of our problems. We want healthy
absolutely.
relationships with women, and most importantly, men, and most importantly, women, right? And
Yeah.
if this is not addressed, it will just continue to eat at you inside over and
It
over again. It will never go
perpetuates.
away. Yeah, it will
Yeah.
never ever go away, man.
The here's the thing. Yeah. When we've become a man who is naturally attractive in his core, when we've developed some game, yeah, we're actually competing on who we are, on our masculinity. That's a position of leverage. In today's world, think about it. We have dudes who are just purely trying to compete on their image and what they present on social media, purely trying to compete on the dating app market, which is all you can really compete on is your fucking image, your face, like
Yeah,
photography,
yeah, yeah.
that sort of
Yeah.
shit, right? Yeah. So outside of that, right, you can compete on on you, on your substance, on your game,
Yes,
on actual
yes.
your ability to convey yourself,
I
right?
don't even need.
This
Yeah, 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 yeah.
this
Go
this
ahead, guys.
goes
Sorry.
beyond finances. This goes beyond all superficial looks because those motherfuckers have got no personality and no game.
Yes.
No personality and no game. And 8 days a week, the same chick will come back to a dude who's got personality who's got game and will complain about the rich dude she extorts and come back and we know this, man.
Dude,
we know this.
Dude, my ex-girlfriend used to think it was weird. I used to hang out with this one guy, and he was kind of an acquaintance, but he had a Mustang, and he was trying to build up his money. He was a big-time dealer in my area, and like every time I would bring him around, my girl, she's like, "This guy's fucking weird," because they're always trying to flex. That's all they can lean on.
Yes,
like, it's fucking a bad look. Like, this guy's fucking weird, bro. Like, what? I don't give a fuck about like, and he's not humbly doing it because you are doing it that whole
it's
time
in your face.
You're being told that that's going to get you girls. So then guys start to really lean into that, and girls think it's fucking weird. You're like, this guy's a fucking, who gives a fuck? This guy's a creepy. I'm like, dude, I'm like, bro, why do you keep mentioning that you know, my Lexus, my this, my Mercedes? Like, it just, man, it's a bad look, bro, but it's not their fault. It's how we're being fucking brainwashed that this stuff is the stuff that's going to get you girls, bro. It's a cover up, basically.
For sure.
Dude, I want to add one thing in there, and this may possibly sound a little bit cocky too. It might. My girl's black, and she loves Idris Elba like every other fucking female on the planet. And of course, he's black and he's black, so she kind of likes him a little bit more. But I can, at this point in time, without a shadow of a doubt, I can tell you, if Idris Elba slides into her DMs and sends, "Yo, shorty, you want to go for a fucking ride on my fucking yacht?" She's going to be like, you know what? Thank you. I appreciate it. But no, I'm with a man right now.
Hey.
Like, I have that confidence. And I'm not trying to sound cocky or anything. The reason why I can say that right now with confidence, yes, he has $1 billion, $1 trillion. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, like, he can absolutely take her on a private yacht and take her to, like, you know, this lunch and this dinner and buy her 55 bags or whatever the fuck, right? Like, she wants a Tesla, he can buy her 5 Teslas and some shit, right? But he's not me. And she wants me. She doesn't want the money. She would like the experience of the bags and the this and the this, but those experiences will fade like this. And she's smart enough to know that. That's the thing. It's like, she's smart enough to know that. So she, even if she will get all that money and that bag and this, she knows in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, it's going to go away. And Ketan's not going to take me back. And I'm going to miss out on Ketan. And that's what these guys aren't understanding when they keep doing this whole money thing and build your money and this. I'm like, motherfucker, fine, you made $5 billion. Jeff Bezos is standing right there. He's like $100 billionaire. Your girl's going to go to him. What was the difference? There was no difference. Like, you can, I mean, I'm nothing compared to you, but you're nothing compared to him. Right? So if the only thing that kept the girl or attracted the girl to you was the money, then he's more attractive. And that person's more attractive, and that person's more attractive, right? like, I can guarantee you, like,
right,
I mean,
you're right, bro. The grass is always greener on the other side. There's always somebody who's got you beat. So that's a terrible way to live. It's extremely stressful.
That is.
And honestly, most sane women that are like the ones that we want to be with,
that you want to be with,
the ones that we want to be with are tired of that. They know better.
Yes,
it's just intelligence. Like, okay, this guy may have a bigger dick than my boyfriend. He may have a nicer car, but like, what am I just going to jump on the carousel? Basically, not every girl that we want to be with is going to just keep jumping on that carousel. It's exhausting probably for women too.
Of course, that's what they keep complaining about, that there's no good guys. That's what they keep complaining about. So when they do find a good guy, now they want to latch on. But that's your job to become the good guy, that man that they want to be attractive. That's your job to become. And making the money is one tiny little thing that brings you, it's like one of those pillars, pedestals, I don't know what to call it, but like one of those multiple different things that holds you up. It's not everything, but most people just think it's only the money. That's it. And that's where the problem is. Like, you want to be the attractive person. When she loses out on you, not the lifestyle that you could also provide her, because anybody else can provide her the lifestyle. It's your sense of humor. It's your support. It's your personality, your cuteness, this, whatever else. Like, the value that you generate and you provide is what she's going to be missing out on.
Beautiful.
Right?
Man.
That's what they don't seem to understand.
It's the feelings and chemistry that you can generate when you guys are together. And it's like they are even more sensitive to that stuff than we are. So like, if these experiences your girl has with you, Keaton, it's like you're able to connect and generate certain things about her that she's like, she can't just replace. It's not a dime a dozen. You know, you're just not
it isn't.
leaning on your money.
That's
it's not.
That's that's exactly my thing. I think even when I love this guy, of course, Andrew Tate, like when he comes in and he flexes the whole money thing and this and this and this, and I'm the biggest fan. I love that guy. And yes, he has money too. And it may even be possible that now at his level of status and fame that his money is the thing that's attracting the girls, but that's not what's keeping the girls. Because he shuts them down, he nips shit in the butt like that. If a girl disrespects him or Tristan, if a girl disrespects them, they nip it in the butt like that. So when their girls stay, it's not because they have that much money. It's because yes, they also have the money, just like every other guy that slid into their DMs. All the guys that slid into their DMs have the money, but these guys have that attractive personality to stand up for themselves. It's like, hey, you're not going to disrespect me like that. I like you. I find you attractive. Yeah, exactly. So that's what these guys are missing, is that part of it. Like, you have to become the attractive thing, not
the guy who's been an introvert and who's lived behind his desk or whatever and just made money and has like, no ability with women. He's awkward, he's weird, and his motives are all screwed up. His motivation is he's doing that because he thinks it's going to get, this hot girlfriend or whatever. And then I would take the guy in the street who's been like in and out of the streets, basically approaching tons of women, like living on the
8 days a week, bro.
I
live on the streets.
He's gonna run circles around that guy who's gonna be like, this guy's a fucking weird. Let me just suck him from his money.
Time and time again.
He's the guy he's gonna get sucked for his money, or he's gonna
oh my god.
And he's not gonna be able to he's not even gonna be able to defend himself. That guy on the street will either rob him or the girl's gonna be like, I'm just gonna suck. He's taken advantage of. He's a fucking hermit. It's like, just burn that money, man.
Dude. Actually, so I kind of want to tell this, but I also kind of don't, because like I don't know if it's gonna make her look bad or something. But anyways, it's just like every girl on the planet will shit test you. Every girl on the planet will shit test you. It's literally in their biological nature to shit test you. Anyways, even this girl right now that's with me, that's a legend. When we first met, she tried to make me drive her out like 2 hours, 2.5 hours to pick some fucking package up or some bullshit. Right? Like initially, when she knew that I had a car, she kind of tried, hinted at me like, I want to go and grab this package or something. So it would be great. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Best of luck. And I hope you find her right. Something like that. Yeah, I didn't go like, let me take my car, my Mercedes, get into my Mercedes and let's fucking drive 3 hours. Because like, fuck that shit.
No,
I'm not your fucking Uber driver.
Of course.
Right. And and those are the lines you said at the start. So I told her, and we made jokes about this like so many times after, but I was like, okay, you try to game me. As soon as we met, you definitely try to game me. So I called it out to her. Yeah. Bro, they do it all the time. And this is the same girl that tried to game me. That's like head over heels and like doesn't, like there's no disrespect, nothing at this point. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that whole thing about setting lines and boundaries and expectations and all that stuff, it's because guys have been bending over backwards for her entire life, which is also the reason why she doesn't find other guys attractive, because she knows that she can walk all over anyone. So the second she finds somebody that can actually stand up for himself and stand up to her, but is also loving, caring, supporting, all of the other things that she finds attractive too, it's like boom, there's immediate attraction.
Yeah, that totally that trumps the experiences that she could get from a guy who has more money. She may want that private jet, but who does she want? She wants to do it with somebody who she feels a special connection with. Like,
that's
who
what
gives
I'm saying.
a fuck? Like, so that's what I'm saying. Sounds nice.
Like when she wants to cuddle up with you after. Yeah. When she wants to cuddle up with you before, after, spend all the time, go to movies and all that stuff. She wants to do it with someone, right? Like I can take her in my car and somebody else can take her in a Bugatti. But it's that drive that when she spends time with the person that she wants to be with, like a good person, right?
Yeah, for sure.
So that's where you come in. That's where the experience.
Even someone who doesn't really have a lot of game, but I think my second girlfriend really schooled me quite a bit. Like she was 10 years older than me. She was kind of like a sugar mama. She was at that point the breadwinner. I mean, she had her shit together, like in terms of like finances and stuff like that, and she was head over heels for me, bro. She would have did absolutely anything for me. And it was Learning lesson, man. So the guys who have experience with this, like, wait a second, why she could easily leave me for
She could easily
somebody
get
who's,
anybody else and have
why
the
is
other
she,
guy spend money on
yeah,
her.
why is
Yeah,
she
why is
staying with
she
me,
spending money on
buying
me?
me all the,
Yes.
buying me all these
Yes.
gifts, buying me all these
Yep.
things,
Yep. Yep.
you know, she was literally buying all my boxing lessons for me. She's like, oh, you like
Yep.
boxing,
Yep.
Brian? And going to the best trainers and giving me like session after session, buying 20 session packages to work with like the best trainers. I'm like, this girl was head over heels for me, man. My parents could vouch for it, that, you know, it was like, but you know, end of the day, that was when I did a boot camp, and I was like, oh my God, there's so many fish in the sea, and I don't want to hurt her like this over and over. Like,
Yeah.
it's going to get to the point. Like, I would have a guilty conscience. Like, I wanted to sow all my oats, and I didn't do that. And that's what, she already was in a stage in life where she like got all that shit out of her way. So we just weren't on the same page. I was a 22-year-old guy. She was 32, but we probably would have been together this day. I just wanted to go experience more women, man. I needed the experience. It ate me up that she had like higher body count, more money, this, that, like, so we were just on different levels, but she was literally head over heels and still would have worked it out with me. Like, it's amazing to see. So you're absolutely right, Keetan. You're absolutely right.
Actually, we're going to bring this up too. This was in Andrew Tate and his podcast with John Sonmez. Like, I really like that guy too. I really respect him. I think he's genuine as well. Which, by the way, is another example. John Sonmez is another guy who talks about self-improvement and money and dating and everything else. But also, he's jacked too. Because being jacked literally makes every single word that comes out of your mouth like 10 times more valuable and important. Because as soon as you have arms and abs, like everything that you say is not gospel. That's basically how the world works at this point.
Look at that guy,
But anyways,
Bradley Martin's another example. Look at that guy. He's fucking huge, man. And he's not like anything special, but he's 10 times better than everybody else who's normal because he's fucking huge. Right? Have you seen that guy? Yeah, that dude's fucking
I've seen
huge,
him. I've seen him a while ago. I haven't seen him recently, but I knew about him like 10 years ago, and he was doing like weird shit in the gym. Like weird, you know. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, so my point there was this Andrew Tate thing where he was like this is such an interesting thing, yeah, because even if they see, it's the same thing with Imogen and Andy. It's the same thing. I mean, yeah, I'm not gonna bring myself into it, but let's say even with Alex from Playing with Fire and his girlfriend and Andrew Tate and all these other guys and everything, right? It's like they're all into threesomes and their girlfriends are very into it. They're very supportive of it. They're very into the thing. They're very happily doing it as a part of the thing. It's not like a sacrifice that they're doing. Oh, I'm sacrificing myself because he's going to provide for like a lifestyle for me. You know what I mean? It's not like that. They're like very happily doing it together or something. So and even in that podcast, I think the guy asked the same thing. He's like, where do you find these girls that are all cool with you having other girlfriends or sleeping with other girls or doing threesomes and everything? And he's like, dude, I don't pluck them from some fucking special tree in Romania or some shit. Like, I literally make these girls this way, right? Like, that's literally what it is. Like, that's what I gave you my example, right? That she tried to have me drive her to some place or something. And other girls do this all the fucking time. They do it all the fucking time. They will always try and use the same tricks that they've used on every other guy before because they think you're going to be a fucking doormat. And as an 18, 19-year-old, 21-year-old, you will be a fucking doormat, and that's okay. Like, that's why you need to get the experience, because your first couple of relationships, you probably will be a fucking doormat. So, but that's what he said. It's like, that's how you do it. You stand up to them and you do this, and that's why the girls bend. And in that podcast, that thing came up. It was like, my friend was with this girl who didn't do anything for him, didn't cook for him, didn't clean for him, didn't, respect him, nothing. And then they broke up and she's dating another guy and she's doing everything for the other guy.
Yep.
It's the same fucking woman.
Yo, they could sniff out pussies like left and right, bro. Like, it's just, they are way ahead of the game when it comes to social, like, I guess, calibration and social awareness and stuff like that. Being able to, what is the word? Sniff out guys, a group of guys way better than us. They just have that innate ability, and they've been practicing since they were in middle school, like being able to size guys up immediately. Like, we actually have to go do that shit to try to like catch up to that, but they're able to size guys up so fucking easy, man. So, bro, they're fucking experts. They're a black belt in jiu-jitsu when it comes to social dynamics. But the guy who masters it is that's when their eyebrows go up, and then you can really catch their attention, because they're like, this guy he's not falling for this shit, you know what I mean? And they pick up on that really quickly. And again, that goes into online dating and internet dating. Like, you miss all of this stuff, all this shit we're discussing, you don't get a chance to experience. Like, if you're just living on the phone and relying on online shit to carry your dating life, because you're going to miss out on all this stuff, which is all about improving inwardly at your core to become a better person and improve these social skills, which you'll never be able to get if you don't actually go out in the field and work on this stuff one girl at a time, one approach at a time, try to get a friend. But you definitely have to, it can't be neglected, or you'll never have these qualities where you'll get a girl hooked on you. And that's what we all want, a girl to be like, respect us as a man, want certain qualities in us. That's what we all yearn for, right? She can look deep into our eyes and be like, this is the guy I want to spend the rest of my life with. I'm obsessed with him. And in order to do that, bro, you'll never develop these qualities on the internet. You just won't. I mean, so that's why we always say it's a totally different lane. Use it as a supplement if you so desire, but that by no means doesn't take care of this shit. It doesn't take care of this. So that's why even getting laid is not even almost the results. It's becoming a better man. That's nice as it comes. It will come as a result, but like building yourself up, building your character up, being able to like pick up on all the little shit tests that girls throw at you. Like you will not learn all that stuff. And I'm telling you, if you don't do it.
You see, in this discussion here, both Brian and Keaton have shared some of the amazing things that women are capable of, how they can really invest in you and see you as having so much amazing value, right? Keaton's lovely girlfriend sees him as the incredible dude that he is. As Brian was sharing there, he had a chick who was fully invested in him, wanting to see him be the best version of himself. This is out there. This is really, if you're in this sort of space in the brotherhood that we're building, this is what we want. I demand this. I don't want anything less than proper investment and excellent treatment. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to obtain that. But I'm not gonna take less. It's not happening. This is what I've learned about from my journey the last couple of years. I'll be honest, when I started, I was extremely inexperienced and I didn't have the confidence and masculinity and charisma I do now. Dude, I've been through so much in this journey, man. Every day I did this. Every day, man. The numbers are there. The consistency's there. I've seen all these things and I got fucked over time and time again when I was the weaker version of myself. I wasn't passing those shit tests and I wasn't getting the treatment that I wanted. I was getting some results here and there, but it was through staying in the arena. Once you're in the game, you will succeed. That's what I got from Scotty. Once you're properly in the arena, you will succeed. But the arena, it might be different from what people look like. It's not on your phone, dude. That's not what you're going to grow. You have to go on the fucking streets and learn. That's where I learned all this shit, bro. Everything came from the streets. Nothing really got better from me from using the online apps. Busting my ass in the street, you actually get the opportunity to learn. In one day, I would get lessons, right? How to be really cool and calibrated. Brian's seen me approach, right? I can do some shit out there. I really can,
No, for sure, man. Yeah. I mean, I wish we got to spend more time just focusing on your approaches and stuff like that, because we were also focused on putting out content and things like that. But yeah, from what I saw, man, yeah, you obviously have overcome the initial fear of just walking up to a girl. That doesn't even cross your brain, which I said is 70% of the battle, really. If you really and truly have social freedom to walk up to any human being without, even a little bit of apprehension, I mean, you're way ahead. You need to run things once you're in set, but that's a big part of the puzzle, because guys could spend years and years without ever getting over that hurdle, bro. That's a big one. Once you're over that one, yes, you can. Now you actually can play around with things. Now you can make adjustments. Now you can make certain corrections in order to actually close the deal. But that's a huge part of the equation that a lot of guys will have years and years struggling with.
When you're in there,
sometimes progress doesn't always look like this. or it's just like this. You know what I mean? I think Chris made a video on this, how like success, the road to success, that with all the lines, because I would be frustrated at times, bro. Like, you know, I would go out after 3 years, be like, I'm Scotty, I'm a legend. You know, why am I struggling from time to time? Why do I still have like a little bit of fear? And then because it looks like this, bro, but it's still going in that direction. Just stay with it, and it just eventually you're going up, man. It's the persistency and just realizing, wait, remember, it's the next best set is the one. My dad used to say to me, when it comes to refrigeration, you're as good as your last service call. And a lot of that applies to, you're as good as your last set. Like, it doesn't matter. Right place, right time, right girl. That's why competition is kind of silly, because like Ravi could pull that next girl and I couldn't get her. It just right place, right time. He made the next set, and he's as good as the current moment, present moment set. And he ends up taking that girl, and I ended up blowing it. So it doesn't matter really. It's really about your next set. Your next set. What do you got? You know, what are you bringing to the table? That's why a bad baseball player, or these guys get in their head and they're like, fuck, I'm 0 for 10 at the plate. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to get out of that funk and pull yourself out of it. You know, that's why positive feedback is absolutely critical. That's why at times, even if the girl doesn't have attraction all the way, you could be so down bad that you just need to take digits just to get some positive reinforcement, even if you know deep down inside it's going to go nowhere. Like, at times it's like, you know what, just take the number. You know, and she almost knows it too. Just, here, take my number. Like, even if there's nothing in a couple months.
Yeah. For sure. I had a lot of those.
Guys can only relate to this who have actually been out in the field, or else they'll be like, yo, that's retarded, waste of time. No, bro, you don't realize how down bad you could be. If you're on the verge of quitting or going home and doing something stupid or going to have a drink, you know, because you've just been shot down 10 times in a row, like, yeah, validation does play a part at that point. Some positive reassurance and feedback is absolutely critical.
All of what you share, Brian, is someone who has lived the lifestyle fully and deeply. And it's from actually being in the field that you re-knit your brain. What you've said there, right? There's so much richness and depth to it. Like, just the way you're supposed to look at dating, right? You're meant to look at it in terms of, you know, your input of time and energy. There's going to be outputs created. You're going to get outcomes, right? It's inevitable. It's a process. You get in the arena, you stay in it, yeah, and you will succeed. We all do. All of these things, we can talk about it. We can have these discussions. We can have these podcasts. It doesn't sink into your heart and soul. It doesn't internalize until you are on the streets doing it, man. Like, proper quantum leaps in dating. Like, it happens once you put in a certain amount of hours, and these ideas that we've all shared today, they come to the fore in the street, and then you actually lock it in. Like, you have the right behaviors, the right vibe, the right game, and all that. It comes together, and you actually get the immediate feedback. You see, oh my God, like, I wasn't getting this kind of response before. Like, I'm at a different level now, and then it starts to be a layer, and then you build on that. Like, all of this proper, deeper development stuff. Yeah, it is actually from making this a lifestyle decision and really continuously honing it. So, in this regard, right, that's how this shit is an equalizer. That's how we can, very simply, we can go out and we can compete with dudes who've spent decades making money. Because let me tell you, I've got friends who are millionaires. Literally, some of my friends are like millionaires, right? And we've went out and we've hung out together, and we go out and hang out with some of our female friends. Honestly, this is just I'm not trying to make fun of anyone or anything, but like yeah, these dudes, cool, nice guys, good friends and all that, but like I'm the only one who was banging the women involved there, and like the girls were complaining that, your friend his vibes, he's kind of weird.
He's weird.
Yeah.
He's weird. Yeah.
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it. They will tell me
Yeah.
that shit. You know what I mean? The equalizer for the guy, like, fine, go if you want to go make money. I believe in that too. Actually, I believe it's a great facilitator. I'm trying to push money. You know what I mean? I think it's a great thing. I want us all here to have abundance in every area. I want us to have great relationships with women. I want us to have financial freedom, and I want us to have impact and have a fantastic community that we mold and shape the right way. So of course I believe in abundance, but when I see these things, these dudes went out and made money for 20, 30 years, man, and then look how that's working out for them. And it only took like 2 years of working, maybe 2.5, to just completely blow them out of the water with just my level of game where it is now. So, and I'm going to stay with this for another 3-4 years, bro. So like, it's my belief, my honest opinion, that how a guy can truly shine and outcompete money, status, all that shit. Remember, humans are emotional creatures. Remember, emotions are so fucking powerful. Most of the knowledge in business and marketing is based on the idea that like, it's not even that we're buying a logical solution. We buy emotions. We buy on the basis of feeling, and emotions are everything to us as people. So think about women who are even more emotional than a man, right? When you've got good game, you're a master of stimulating emotions. You're a master of the highs and lows, taking them on the journey, right? Making them feel sparks and emotions. If you can do that shit, you're dangerous. You're deadly. You get the best experiences. Just as Keaton was sharing, just as Brian was sharing about the amazing times that you can have with women. That's available. And you can get access to that by simply doing the work that we've described. And then
if you're that guy, the girl keeps coming back to you almost like you're a drug for her. She needs her fix. Like that's why time apart makes the heart grow fonder, right?
I'm actually reading out a book that actually has that as the core of the whole thing. Like the whole
time apart makes the heart grow fonder.
That's one thing. That's one thing. No, the other one. Like you are basically her validation drug dealer. That's what you are. You are the girl's validation drug dealer. That's how you make her feel good. And it's not even like a manipulative thing. It's just literally a thing. If my girl says, babe, you look sexy, I like her more. Right? Like if she's giving me a validation, it's like, babe, you look this, you look that, your work was good. I like that person more. That's the same thing. That's what it is. You just make the other person feel good. But you don't do it unnecessarily.
These are like healthy addictions. These are not. These are
like,
yeah. These are good. These aren't like really bad vices by any means. You're growing attachment and love for a particular person that brings the best out of you. You know what I mean? And
no, this is literally how human relationships are supposed to be made. Like you reward with your attention. That's what you do with anybody, even your kid. When your kid misbehaves, you don't give them attention. That's because they're misbehaving to get your attention. So when they misbehave, if you give them attention, they're getting what they want. So when they misbehave, you don't give them attention. But when they do something right, then you do give them attention. That's when you give them your validation. That's literally how you train any human being for anything. In fact, when they misbehave, you stay away. Like when the girl misbehaves or something, I'm like, well, I'm not interested in this stuff. I'm going to do my own thing. But what she wants from you is your attention. So then she realizes, oh, this is good behavior. That's bad behavior. Stuff like that. Actually, let me give you a takeaway. You go.
No, I'm saying she would start to look ultimately she starts to look elsewhere. Like she'll start to replace you slowly, little by slowly, with like Instagram, or she just starts to wander elsewhere, which is a sign of like the relationship falling apart at that point. And slowly but surely, to piggyback off Ravi, is like guys need to ultimately, speaking about action and actually getting, seeing this stuff firsthand. I mean, they have to wean themselves off of all the information overload and the theory that we digest. It's literally a drug, literally a drug, bro. Get off the forums, get off the phone.
It's a self-improvement.
Stop watching the podcast. It's like, bro, you need to like wean yourself off that shit. That shit is a fucking addictive drug, man. And these guys, analysis by paralysis, they're fucking crippled.
It's
you know what I mean? And they know way more information, and they know way more about
than anybody else.
Information.
I have to.
They can explain to me what I'm doing.
I mean, sorry, they do. Yeah, and I know exactly. Bro, I swear, I heard somebody saying. I actually heard somebody saying, blah blah blah. I called this girl home, and then I had to scramble her reticular activation system. I was like, what? Nigga, what? What did you just say? You fucking stupid fuck. What did you just say? But anyways, whatever. So I didn't even get into it. I was like, shut the fuck up. But to give these guys like a good takeaway or something, like a good win. This guy isn't even my client or anything. He's just a guy that found me through my Toronto pickup WhatsApp group. Which is fucking ultra lame, by the way. That's the manosphere properly. It's the fucking ultra lame. It's just all women haters. Nobody takes action. The a group is full of like 250 people, and there's like 5 people making approaches. That's it.
God.
That's 250 people.
Yeah.
5 people are doing the approaches. Everybody else is just hating on women. That's it.
Oh my
It's like
god.
the proper manosphere. But anyways, my point is these guys found me from there. And you remember, Ravi, you remember that video that I made? If Arnold was alive today, he would kill himself.
Yeah.
So you remember the rage that I had in that video, right? Like I was
Yeah.
fucking mad in that fucking video. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
because this guy had reached out to me back then, like 3 months ago or something, or 2 months ago, saying, bro, for you, it took 450 approaches to get one girl, bro. You're 6'2", you're jacked, you're this, you're that, you're smart, you're intelligent, da, 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 da. I'm never going to get any girls, man. It's over for me. That's what made me angry. That's what made me
Yeah.
angry. I was like, what the fuck are you guys complaining about? And the good thing is that guy got laid through cold approach. Yes. That dude got laid through cold approach. Exactly. I was doing this too. I was like, fuck yes. That dude got laid through cold approach. And guess how many it took him? What number?
I'm gonna guess, bro.
40.
Yeah, I'm gonna say about less than 100.
Yeah, I think he's at 150, I think.
Okay. Yeah,
I think he's at 150, yeah. Bro, 150 is nothing. It's really good.
Nothing.
I mean, it's a lot to guys that are just starting off because they think making one approach a week is a big deal. But obviously, for anybody that knows how to do approaches, like 150 is nothing. But here's the best part: he got laid by one girl by a cold approach, but he went out on like 7 dates. 7 dates.
Wow.
Indian girls, Pakistani girls, Arab girls, Persian girls. I'm like, I haven't been on dates with these girls. So I'm like, in my first 100 approaches, if I had like 3 dates, I was lucky. I had maybe like 2 dates, maybe. So he's doing way better than I am. So I'm like, dude, do you remember yourself? You were crying about making 450 approaches to get one lay. First of all, you already got one at 150, and you've had like 7 or 8 dates. So don't you see aren't your eyes like opened up with like your potential? By the way, like I'm not hating on him. I'm just saying he's not Mike. I'm a dude. I don't like him. He's not Chris. So it's not like I'm impressed by him, but but he's unattractive. To me, he's unattractive, right? But clearly the dude got laid in 150 approaches and he has like 7 or 8 dates already. Who to me is an unattractive guy. So like he could definitely, like, to me, he's like a 5.56. And if he like literally got on his game of looks maxing and physically working out and everything, he could easily get up to 8.5. And he still got laid with 150 approaches. And he's only 21 years old, so he knows nothing.
There you go. It's out there, man. It's literally out there for you to take it. If you're fucking motivated, if you have some sort of drive, you can go get anything done in life. Anything. There's no excuses, none that I'll accept. Nothing. You want to make money, you want to go. You can accomplish anything. Like what you just shared there is pretty cool, Kim, because we've got the same opinion about the quote unquote manosphere. Like me and Brian laugh about this shit often. We're trying to do something different, honestly. We're genuinely trying to make a difference. We're trying to get people who are action takers. We're trying to get people who are going to consistently...
No, we're not trying to do something different. We're not trying to do something different. We are different. We've always been there. We were here even before them. I think any of this stuff even started to pop off, really, quite frankly. We kind of missed that whole thing. I think even Chris was writing about that. That was like right before it, or, like right when I think Mystery and Brad P and Love Systems and a lot of these 3 or 4 big companies were out there. Like there was no talk of this. None of the shit even was popping. It wasn't popular.
No. It wasn't a thing back then.
Like one of Rolo or someone, they said like, I think the birth of it really, when someone started talking about it on a forum, was like, I think 09 or something. Like it was, bro, we were already in the game. I mean, or it was around the same time or something like that. It was definitely, I don't know what connection it had with the pickup world, but it, that's basically where we came from, man. I mean, straight up.
Yeah. Action taking, positive, solutions-oriented thinking. Like, we don't do the hating on women thing, dude, because what's the fucking point, man? Like,
what is the fucking point? I don't, exactly. What is the fucking point? How does that help you get laid or get a good girlfriend or anything?
It doesn't. Is the answer to that. It doesn't help you.
I know.
This
I
And
is
listen,
I
we're
don't know.
not.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
listen, we're not advocating that like we're perfect or we're impenetratable.
no.
I mean, it could be brutal out there, bro. I've
No,
carried
me too.
some really strong resentments,
Me
and
too.
the shit that they could fucking do to you is heart wrenching, gut
Yeah.
wrenching. You start to
Yeah.
see how manipulative and how they use violence in a different type of way since they can't use it physically. So we're aware of all this stuff,
Yeah.
but the key is to have a support or a brotherhood that you could share these stories with other people to get it off your chest.
That's how you get over it.
And yeah, that's how you get over it. We're not saying that, oh, whatever, we're immune to it, no big deal. Like, because they can fucking ruin you, man. They could absolutely rip your heart and fucking ruin you. So, but you need the right support. I mean, perpetuating it and thinking the solution is in that direction is nothing more than just continuing to fuel a fire deep inside instead of moving forward, going on to your next set, speaking to the next girl, improving little by slowly, improving your looks, improving your all, like we were talking about earlier, Ravi, the niche maxing, whatever, max it all out, max out all your attributes so that the next set you do, you're coming with a better version of yourself. That's all we're responsible for, man.
That's it. You can't blame yourself for women's behaviors in the moment. You can't blame yourself for the pain that we endure. Anyone who knows me knows that I suffered tremendously. I had a lot of difficult times with women. I got a lot of rejections, a lot of harsh treatment. I got fucked over many times when I was like weaker than I am now. And it did have a lot of anger and did have a lot of resentment. How I got over it?
I think every grown man has to go through that phase about hating women
Yep.
at
Oh
one
yeah,
point
yeah.
to
Let's be
go
honest
through
about
to
it.
the other side. Yeah, of course.
Let's be honest
Of
about it.
course. I think
did.
everybody. Yeah, I did too,
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
I know, see, I restarted hating women once again when I was doing pickup recently, like in
Yeah.
Feb, March or something. I was like,
Because it
dude, the more
hurts.
pickup I do, the more I dislike. Yeah, it hurts. It really does hurt, like when you do it. But that's the thing is like you have to understand that that's not. It's a temporary thing, kind of a thing. It's
Yeah,
more like
yeah.
a.
100% temporary.
I think you know what it is. I think it's you have to keep in mind. It's like you're not going for every girl. Like even though you are going for every girl, you don't actually want every girl. So all these bad girls, the bad
Hmm.
eggs, when they reveal themselves to you, that's a good thing because that's not a girl
Yes.
that you would have wanted anyways. So yes, it's
Absolutely.
actually a good thing instead of being like, oh, da 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 da. But
Well, that's the
yeah,
problem when it comes to coaching. I got to be as a coach, I have to be very leery of like overcorrecting on every single thing the guy does. That could be problematic too, because everything is then his problem. Like instead of just move on, bro, she was not, sexually
yeah,
available.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
keep moving along.
yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
you get, guys will be, I could keep selling them like,
Fixated.
oh,
Yeah,
correct. You have to do this, fix. And it's like, bro, that's also not the right strategy as a coach. You have to be able to just like be like, yo, that girl was not even, she wasn't giving anybody the fucking time of day. You know what I mean? Just move
yeah.
on, man. It does.
Of course,
The
I,
ability to move on is also a skill, bro. It really
yep.
is. The ability to move
Of
on and
course,
be
yeah.
unfazed is a tremendous
Stoicism.
skill, bro. Any
Yeah.
any good quarterback, any good NFL quarterback, it's like, why was Brady so effective? Because he would be able to throw a pick, and then the next drive, he looks like he was unaffected. Then you could see the other quarterbacks who weren't as good. The moment they made a mistake, they ruined the rest of the game. They were in their heads and they couldn't overcome that. So
Yeah,
that's a
yeah.
huge skill, bro. Is the ability to just be like, get a big fuck you from a girl and then just
Yeah.
move on to the next and then have some girl be making out with you 5 minutes later. Like that's fucking wild. I love to see
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to see shit like that,
Bro,
man.
Yeah.
I had that so many times in my journey when I was at the bottom of hell, like the bottom of hell, dude, where it could not get lower. And I was literally saying to my coaches, Andy, like, bro, I can't fucking do this anymore. You don't understand. He's like, no, we'll talk about it. We'll actually talk about it. The next day, not 24 hours later, I got some of the best lays of my fucking life, dude. Not 24 hours later, I went from hell to heaven. That's how this shit goes. And this is the beauty of it. It teaches you stoicism, bro. Stoicism. Like I learned so much about how to be a better man from this game, about how to really, really stay with it. I get blown out. I get all the shit. I get all the most dramatic shit, right? And I also get loads of wins too. Like the greatest people who accomplish things, what you don't see is the many missed attempts. You don't see
Yeah.
the many bad gym sessions where they didn't want to be there, where they did the
Yeah.
training sessions where they're fucking hungover and all that shit. Didn't want to even want to train that
Bro,
day.
the thousands of times that dude with an 8-pack cheated on his fucking diet, the
Yeah,
so many
man.
times he drank alcohol, so many sessions that
Yep.
he missed and he thought he was a piece of shit. All of that stuff that nobody sees because all you see is that one snapshot picture at the end with his fucking shredded fucking 8-pack, and you're like, bro, do you know how many injuries I have right now? I'm not even
Yeah.
joking. This shoulder has something going on. I don't think this right elbow does. This left elbow does. Maybe this one did too. I don't even remember. My foot has orthotics on it. Like, bro, every fucking thing. My left, knee is like recovering from an injury.
Yeah.
Every part of me is something or the other is up, right? But like when I take pictures to like
Yeah.
flex, you can't see that shit. It's just like, oh, this guy has a 8-pack and he's on the juice. He's on the juice. He gets fucking results. You know what I mean? It's like nobody sees all the other shit. I say thousands of dollars in
That's it.
orthotics, so much fucking rehab, so much fucking this thing. Nobody sees any of that shit. It's just that end
That's
moment.
it. But I want to touch on that, bro. Like, cause I'm of course I follow your stuff, Keaton. I know you got a bunch of injuries going on. I was watching you with your fucking high tech gizmo camera where everyone's pointing out like, what the hell have you got going over there? It was badass, actually. I liked
Yeah,
it. People
it's so
don't, you know,
good, so good.
people miss these things. You know, like I've accomplished some things in my life now, man. I dropped 85 pounds. You know, I just went from losing my virginity to having like a quite a interesting sex life. Been on literally dated hundreds of girls, literally approached thousands of girls. Now, if you hang out, I mean, literally spent time with Scotty recently. Yeah, I got to see someone. I could see having done this very deeply. I could see Scotty's level was like far above mine, bro. Like in everything, like his social freedom, his social skills, like everything, right? And I absorbed that. Like I had the opportunity to spend more time with him. I absorbed that, get better myself, and I am getting results. By the way, I came back from New York. I fucking had sex with 8 different girls. Right, it's been a couple of weeks, like smashing it. So yeah. But that was multiple years of effort. Many times where I cried, dude. Many times where I was low as a
Yeah,
human
yeah, yeah.
being. Low.
Yeah, I
You
think
you know
those. Yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah.
You know this,
The
Keaton.
heartbreaking, gut-wrenching shit is the part that nobody really shares. And
Mm,
I don't even know how to share it either. Bro, there's this video that I have. It's in my favorites. Oh my God. Fuck, what is it? Oh no, it's an actualized clip video. You know actualized, right?
of
Leo
course,
from
of course,
actualized.
of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a clip that he has on failure or something like that. Failures. Your failures will lead to your success, something like that. It's like a short 8, 9, 10 minute clip. I kid you fucking not. Every day I would go for pickup and come back. I would watch that clip like 9 or 10 minutes. It's the same 10 minute clip. I would watch it every fucking day in the car, going there or coming back. One of those two. And it would just because he brings about pickup too. He's like, you're gonna talk to this girl, and she's gonna say no. And then you talk to the next one, and then she's gonna say no. The next one, and she's gonna say no, and your heart's gonna be broken into a billion different pieces, but it's just a part of the game and you're going to have to keep doing it and just keep
Yeah.
because these are the small little what seems like failures are the small little bricks that just keep on building up, building up, building up, building up until eventually the whole wall is wrecked and you don't even realize, oh shit, there's like fucking massive wall here right now. So they're like, but
Mm.
he's like, you're going to have your heart broken every single step of the way. It's like, so all of those things, like I kid you not, like so many of those failures and rejections, and yeah, that should hurt, man. That should hurt.
It hurts,
Yeah.
The
bro.
thing
It
is,
does.
the thing is, a coach and good support system could help mitigate the chances of real damage
Yeah,
or the
dude.
chances
Yep.
to keep running back to these old, toxic podcasts or people that you
Yep.
listen to, because you'll always find those as an outlet, and like it's very easy to stay comfortable in that situation. It's easy to like start to like that and stay comfortable in that situation.
Mm.
Like you no longer have your eye on the goal. You're just comfortable like being a part of a very toxic community that just keeps hating on women and goes nowhere. Like
Yeah,
that's
man.
not the
It
Yep.
goes
solution.
nowhere. It goes
You get
nowhere,
very,
bro.
but you get very, very comfortable there. You think other people are doing it, but no, it's just some sort of like, what is that old saying? Like water seeks its own level. So if
Yeah.
that's what you're looking, where your focus goes, energy flows. If that's what you're looking for an outlet, just to fucking pound on them and to like, justify what women are doing, like you'll find that, you know what I mean? So you just have to be very mindful and really continually ask yourself questions. If you find yourself back in those environments where people are just shitting all over women, like, dude, what am I doing? Do I really want to get laid? Is this where I want to end up? Is this going to bring me good results with women? Like, you have to ask these questions, and you'll come to find out very quickly, like, I need to switch up where where I'm going for support and for an outlet to get better at this shit.
It's okay to feel pain. It's not okay to continue down a dark road. It's okay to
Yeah.
have gone into the war, gone into the battle, and taken some licks. It's
Yeah.
not okay to put the sword down and say, fuck this, I can't do this, I'm going home. Because a man who's not even
Yeah.
willing to get in the ring is a man who is never going to have an opportunity to be a champion. Being a champion is about getting in the ring and boxing and then going back to the corner and debriefing. What we're trying to do with the Scotty GLL Brotherhood is we're going to build a chat. We're going to have a very positive culture, and you're allowed to express yourself. You're allowed to say, I got fucking blown out today. You're allowed to say, I've been cheated on today. You're allowed to say, I've been dating a girl. Like, she just ghosted me. You know how many women have ghosted me? Yeah, I can't even
Yeah.
count it.
Yeah.
You know, how many girls have stood me?
Yeah.
I had all this shit. But the difference is
Yeah.
I had a great community behind me. Unbelievable
Yeah. Yeah.
community.
Yeah.
And I built that. I built that, right? And I want to now build it for well with Scotty, I want to build it and invite everyone else because I had it as tight knit. You know what I mean? These are my fucking brothers. We talk every day. The best the best guys in the space I could find. We came together. I saw how effective it was, and I couldn't have done this journey without this brotherhood. Now, I want to create something with Scotty, and we want more people to be in it because I got so much benefit. Why should it just be me? I want these guys to really benefit from it too. So we're going to create this, and I want to
Bro, this is
highlight.
literally the rebirth of Scotty 2.0, Ravi. The whole brotherhood is the continuation basically of GLL, but only like there's big things on the horizon. You know what I mean? Like a um absolutely is some sort of like group that we can always have. We're going to have monthly events for sure, but the sky's the limit on how far we want to take this and how big we want to grow this thing. You know what I mean? Because I get chills up my spine even thinking about going back to New York. The amount of nostalgia I have going back there, but having all this free time to make it like my actual make a living off it and be really and truly part of my lifestyle. You know what I mean? Because I genuinely love it. I mean, sometimes things need to be taken away from you in order to really appreciate it. If you're so fortunate enough to be given a second opportunity, not everybody gets a second opportunity. I didn't even think I would be here necessarily. So, I mean, knowing that I'll be back, you know, where I got the game started, my hometown, that gets me really excited, man. And it's a very unique city, New York. It's like I recommend to all people to leave their hometown and explore elsewhere just so that they see what else is out there. And so you could give yourself a fair assessment of whether or not you want to stay in a particular place or move on if the grass is indeed greener on the other side. But in this particular situation, there's no other place in the world I could picture myself right now. Do I want to travel and go to, you know, South America and stuff like that, experience all that? Yes, absolutely. But I want my heart and soul to be warmed when I go back to New York. I just have so many memories there, and I have so much love for it, really. And I hate to see what's happening in the city right now and everything like that with whatever it's immigration, all this political bullshit. But I think we can overcome that, and New Yorkers are strong, and I think Long Island's got they continue to build it up and make it look better. So that's exactly where I want to be, man. Help out the community.
For sure, bro. You know, you got a mission in this world, man. Your heart and soul is too powerful. But and it really is Scotty 2.0. All the things you've learned, the things that you told me that you wanted to do differently now. You want to deal with other people. You want to actually have all this brotherhood around you. The things that we're doing now, we got Keetan here right now, man. He's going to be a part of our movement moving forward. We got a lot of people who are going to align with us
Yo,
too.
let me add something in there before I forget because I already forgot and it came back to my head once again. Um, so you remember when you're talking about the whole coaching thing and you know how coaching and accountability and all that stuff helps. I was just let me give you like a Fortnite example, right? Like a Fortnite analogy.
Go ahead.
So I'm playing this. I just got into this game, right? I know fucking nothing about it, like absolutely nothing about it. So I got into this game and I hopped onto the Reddit or something, and I'm like, yo, how does somebody play this game? And when you hop onto Reddit, these motherfuckers are complaining about the guns, and they're complaining about the ping, and they're complaining about the
Oh,
connection, and
fuck
they're
off.
complaining about this and this and this and this, and it's all legit, right? Yes, the ping is this, and yes, the gun last season was better than this, and you know this person is that, and this person, all kinds of fucking bullshit. They're like, oh, there are people that have been playing this game for 3 years, and you just hopped in now, and it's like Yeah, yes, it is, but I want to play this game, faggot. So let me play the fucking game. Tell me how to play it or fuck off, right? So I'm hopping on there, and this is the advice that I'm getting. And then I paid this other coach 200 fucking dollars for like 2 hours of his time. And he teaches me, okay, your aim is on point. You're really good at this, this, and this. This is where you're missing. You're not taking these right shoulder peaks. Every time you do this, you're going to do this. You're taking 50-50 engagements. Why would you do that? Why would you not always tip the scale in your favor? Never ever take 50-50s anymore. Do this, this. He gave me like, he didn't complain about a single thing. He was like,
Yeah.
this is how you improve. This is what you do. This is what you do. This is what you do. And when I'm
Mhm.
on the internet, on the Reddit forum, motherfuckers are complaining about all kinds of random shit.
Yeah.
All kinds of random shit. Like, how is this help? I want to play this game. Either help me play it or fuck off. Like, how
Man,
is this helping me?
dude, what it
Right?
is like a lot of these people like many people don't achieve gents. You got to remember like how it's looking out there in terms of a lot of things. Look at the data on people who even keep their New Year's resolution. It's a miserable number. If you look at the 10-year data, people who actually even lose weight, people who actually build a physique, it's small numbers, man. The ones who
Yeah.
do it, the ones who actually like have a vision, get inspired, and actually go out and do that, they're a small number because the how it works is a lot of things have to really converge. You know what I mean? You can be a Scotty who just like reached boiling point and fucking went for it and became the greatest of all time, right? He's an outlier, man. Like he's an example of someone who had
No,
thermo
but I still
nuclear.
needed help. I still reached out for help. I
You
still
did,
reached out for help.
yeah.
Like
You
yeah. I don't know if
you
I don't think I would have gotten to where I as far as I got if I didn't take that initial boot camp. If I wasn't
yeah
um
yeah.
if I didn't do that. Yeah, I think proper coaching and it definitely gave me some leverage for sure to take it to the next level. So
For sure.
yeah.
That's the point that I'm making. I understand in your case, Ryan. You had great mentorship. You invested in that. You took it really really seriously, and that's hence you got the outcomes that you did. Now, like a lot of these things have to converge to get people on a really good track. The community really matters, man. The information that's going into your mind really matters, man. And actually investing. Like you guys know how much I invested, like financially. Like I got mentorship from Andy for like almost 2 years, man. Invested in that. Then like mastermind groups, like literally going logistically to the right locations, like paying out the ass to live in a really good place in London where I could do a lot of this shit. And the list really goes on. So like to get someone and to even like create something where people are going to take a lot of action, you have to have the right kind of leadership and you have to encourage the right kind of culture and community. GLL did this very well. That was based on like action taking. That was based on actually in-field experience is king. That was based on rather than theorizing, like go out and get the results. Like it was rather than endlessly dissecting things to have like the ideal lines or whatever. Be a cool guy, talk to girls, have calibration, get laid. You know what I mean? So like what we can take from that example, Keaton, that you gave of like just the shitty people some corners of Reddit attract, like we don't want that, man. We don't need that bullshit. Like we want to really attract people who are willing to be open-minded, who are willing to do the work, who are willing to be positive. And yes, you're allowed to have some downtime. You're allowed to go through pain, right? But generally, what we want to see is like people doing the work to take care of us, because that is really what creates outcomes. You know what I mean? Keaton, you've had mentors. You've had all of us here invested. Brian's one of the greatest of all time. He invested heavily in Brad P, right? In all the things that he did. Like I invested heavily in my coaches. Andy. I couldn't have done that without Andy, dude. I would still be an obese man without him, dude. I wouldn't have even got out of that. You know what I mean? So these are transformative. Keaton, how many mentors and coaches you've had? You've had several, right? You've learned
Yeah.
from some of the
Yeah.
best. This is what winners do. Winners invested in themselves. I interview people for my podcast on IronWill, right, dude? Some of those people, they're 7 and 8 figure businessmen. They've invested almost $1 million in their
Yeah, of course.
self-improvement.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what they
Yeah.
do. That's what they do. So
Yeah.
what we're gonna do here, man. We're gonna create something. Of course, the highest level is the dudes who come out and do the boot camp. They get the alumni chat, which is the highest level of service we can offer. That's totally premium. There's going to be like monthly calls with me and Brian there, man. We're going to really get them through and give them everything. But like overall, I want this brand to be based on like this could be an amazing brand, dude. We could build something amazing here, but it's based on actually doing the work, not hating women, not being toxic, man. Because like one thing I love from both of you guys sharing about like, yeah, it can be tough out there. I've had many times like that. But when you start to get the results, when you start to get laid, when you start to finally see how fucking great chicks can be, this shit becomes
Yeah.
amazing,
It's
man. This
all
shit is
worth it.
amazing. It's
It just
worth
all
it.
becomes worth
It's absolutely worth it.
Dude,
Oh,
when you quote unquote find the one, I'm not trying to sound cheesy, but you know what, you
I
find
know,
the
I
girl
know you
that's
mean.
like, oh, I connect with this girl. I'm so glad. Okay, she's a legend. We can make something happen or something. All of the effort in the past is then becomes suddenly worth it.
Yeah.
Right? Like I mean, other people might have
Yeah.
that thing for like their kid or something, you know, like they have their kid and then they're like all the grind and all the effort for work and job and this bullshit and that bullshit and everything else that they did was all worth it because now their kid is the best thing in the world or something. Everything is worth it. It's that thing. It's like eventually everything becomes worth it, but you have to like trust and have like a certain end goal of what is the thing that I'm trying to go for uh
Mm.
to make everything else
Here's my thing with
worth it.
women. Yeah, for sure, Keaton. I mean,
Go
here's my
go.
thing with women. They're either like they make everything complete if you do find the one. Like there's one that you really truly connect with, and it just makes life so much easier to have a life partner and somebody you guys who's just always there and compliments you in every regard. And it's just it could just there's really no form of happiness that can even come close to that, really. And the flip side of the coin, they could be your worst fucking enemy.
Worst fucking enemy.
It seems
Yeah,
like
they
that.
can
It
literally
seems
be
to
your
me like there's
downfall.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to
Yeah.
me like there's no like in between. Either you have
Yeah, I know.
like
I
an
know.
epic fucking relationship with a
Yeah.
woman and you're just in love with these people and they're amazing and they compliment you and everything, and it's or they're in the gutter, bro. They've ruined your life.
Yeah.
All you do is fucking think about your ex and how she treated you like shit. But it seems like they could bring you to fucking self-deletion or they could bring you to nirvana. So there's a big discrepancy in like how far these girls they're off like from the spectrum of things. Like I don't know, there's really no middle ground with these people. It's either like you love
Yeah.
them dearly and they're amazing, or you really have it out for these people.
Here's how I see it,
Yeah.
guys. I see it as like a straight line. Yeah. So here's what I want. End destination. Point B. Great gal, attractive, treats me great, actually adds value to my life. I'm getting to real high places in my life. That's point B. Point A is where I am now. My determination to get there is fucking cast iron. I'm going to blast through everything it takes to get there. I'm taking every measure I can. Going to lift my ass off in the gym for years. Going to approach 4 years. Going to spend as much time investing in myself as I can to blast through every sticking point, everything that comes up until I've got there. That's the way I see it. I will happily take 100 more ghosts. I'll happily take 10,000 more rejections. So be it. You know what I mean? And I'm not gonna get down on myself and hate on women because that's not part of getting to point B. That's a person who, if you have that level of just straight line, total seriousness in your objective, you're a dangerous motherfucker. You can accomplish anything like that. And if people could cultivate that level of seriousness and dedication towards their goal, rather than fucking making these red pill guys rich, these manosphere guys rich, buying all their courses and shit to rive in the misery of pain and lack and stagnation and make yourself 100 times worse for women, because that's all that's going to do. It's going to
Yep.
emotionally wound you, traumatize you, and that is going to come out, my friend. That is going to come out. You will not have a great, wonderful vibe and energy and be a sexy, attractive, skilled, great seducer who gets all the best things if you are populating your head with that shit. That is a level of seriousness that I would love to see certainly those who are interested in following us really cultivate, because like end of the day everyone here has got success that they were looking for, man. Everyone here is a high achieving person who gets shit done. And you don't see when you listen to guys like Keetan or Brian, you don't hear them ragging on like women or anything like that, man. It's just I've never really I've never considered people who do that in their core to like make me feel better. Like it is not contributed to my mental well-being, and it's not made me a better man. Whereas if I come here and have conversations with you guys, I actually feel uplifted, and I actually know that like shit, this world is abundant, dude. And if you do the work, you can have a great life. Like that is a message that I can certainly get behind, and this is why I orient myself towards like solutions oriented people. You know?
Yeah, life feels empty, bro. If you don't like, I genuinely love approaching women and getting into set and seeing what the interaction brings. It's always a level of excitement. There's always that unpredictability, that exhilarating feeling to be able to create that out of thin air. There's nothing that comes close to it, man. I mean, you miss all of that completely when you're just have an online profile. Like that's crazy. I mean, it's like I don't. That's what we were talking about before. I think we started the stream was that the downside to this is if once you commit to this, like what Ravi's talking about, and you really go all in on it, there's no turning back. You don't. There's no such thing as like normal, like just normal struggling. I mean, outside of the ups and downs of pickup, but that is a new lifestyle that has been born. Once you start that, it's like to like not even be. I can't even imagine what life would be like if you just don't. You never mass approach. You never got a bunch of numbers and met a ton of women and socialized and done all of that stuff. Run the full gamut without it. There's no turning back, and that's the issue. Like even now, even when you're put in a bad logistical situation, always in the back of my mind is like, dude, I can't wait. Like reminiscing, I just can't wait to just have that volume available to me, whether I'm doing it or not. I just want that volume to be available for me, and then it's like accessible. And if it's there, I just my whole being, it warms up inside. Like this is amazing, dude. Like the love I have for it, just to even fucking like smoke a cigar and sit on the corner and watch that mass volume go by. You could just revel in the victory of that, man. Just knowing that you built up the skill to be able to walk up to one out of any one of these women and create it out of thin air, take that role of a man and approach women. Don't expect it to come to you, and eventually whoever you believe in, God will throw you a bone, and once in a while you'll get some really easy ones. That's a payoff for all the work that you put in. Absolutely. Like that out of nowhere. I love that when I scratch my head, I go, damn, dude, how did that come so easy? Like, because it was the previous 15 or the grinding you've been putting in, and then all of a sudden you get through, you're like, oh my God, that last one was a piece of cake. I had put no effort in whatsoever, because you're oozing out that aura still. You're still like, your blood is pumping. You've just hit on like 15 chicks, whatever you hit on. It's like, it's bound to go in your favor if you just stick with it, man. That's all I could say is I stuck with it, and I put myself in no choice. I was determined to. I think that second girlfriend really inspired me to like get out there. As much as I loved her, she loved me. She was taking good care of me. Almost at that point, it was like when she told me her body count and stuff like that, that really ate me alive. And the lack of sexual experience I had with a variety of partners, which I always wanted, especially grew up in New York, seeing all the choices available. That's what drove me, man. Actually, everybody's got something that they can use to drive you to get to the next level.
Yeah. I actually want to add something in terms of the thing about coaching or something. Basically in terms of like advice, actually, that working with someone that just has the experience or something. This dude that I just told you about, the 150 approaches who got laid. He, I don't know if he texted on the group or if he just texted me directly. No, he texted me directly, actually. Yeah. And he was like, well, there's two different things he asked, actually. Yeah. So he asked me, dude, all these Indian girls, they're so easy to date, but they're so hard to sleep with or something. I think that was one of the questions. And the other one was, I think he said mention about, he was like, there's these girls that are so into me and, everything like this, but then I ended up getting flaked or ghosted. So it's very confusing. And I remember when I was like online fucking 2 years ago or something on Reddit, and I was asking and reading about that shit, and people were bringing up all kinds of bullshit articles and something, and the answer to that is this: it's random as fuck, motherfucker. It's random as fuck. Like, there are
Yeah.
girls that I have spoken to. Some girls are like, they literally want to marry me right there. Like, literally, I have the best fucking approaches. It seems like this girl wants to have my babies like right here on this fucking in the middle of the street, right? And then I take her number and everything else and never get a text back ever again. Never. And then there's some girls that are like, they're like blowing me off, brushing me off, just take my number and leave. And these girls are texting me back and forth. So I'm like,
Yeah.
it's so fucking random that you will never know about this until you actually do it hundreds of times. And
Yeah.
then like, and if I had a coach back then, which none of those coaches back then knew about this, but like if this guy just asked me the same thing, was like, oh yeah, I've been through that like 500 times. It's just
Yeah.
fucking random. Do the next one. That's it. The answer is that simple. Just do the next one. Don't overanalyze. Don't think about it. Just do the fucking next one. That's it. There was
That's fine.
another one
That
about
old saying, you're
yeah.
responsible. You're responsible for the effort, not the outcome. I got that in recovery. Actually, they said the same thing. It's like, but it applies to pickup just as well. You know what I mean? Like that's all you're responsible for. You're responsible for your side of the street, and whatever you put out there, you
That's
know,
it.
you don't know what the fuck you're gonna get.
Yep.
That's it. We just
Yeah,
control the
yeah.
process.
Yeah, that's the thing, and but that's also a thing that scares people for doing pickup. Like I've actually, again, of course, it's fucking Reddit, of course, and it's bro, it's the South Asian masculinity forum.
Oh yeah, I know
That's
that
the
one.
part that fucking crushes me. That's the part
It's
that
bad,
kills me.
bro. It's bad.
Oh my God, bro. Asian masculinity and South Asian masculinity. And you know why I found that shit? Because somebody actually texted me. He was like, bro, your content is so good. Please go and post here. Guys really need your help. And I hopped onto that forum and I was like, okay, I need to buy a gun so I can shoot my fucking brains.
Yeah,
This is what am I reading here, dude? It's all hate. It's
bro.
nothing but
It,
all
it's
fucking hate.
it's shit that's just gonna
How's that masculinity?
torment your brain and just torture you as much as you
I
can feel
know.
negative emotions as you
As
possibly can.
bad as you can,
Flood.
everything. Oh, Indians have the worst genetics for muscle. Oh, Indians have the
Whatever.
lowest SMB in the
Yeah,
world.
yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
Indians have this. Oh, the Western this has done this. Like,
Sure,
why am I
sure.
reading this shit? Why are you telling me this? How is this helping me get more girls? I don't understand. How is this helping me?
All
I
of
don't
that
fucking
is
get it.
perfectly well and good. Like you can have the low SMV, you can have all of that.
Yeah,
I know dudes are 5'5", like Bengali guys, all that shit you get fucking laid. I know everyone from
yeah.
every walk of life. I literally know them, right? I coach some of them myself. If you are a serious motherfucker, you can fucking damn near accomplish anything.
Yeah, of course.
And
Dude,
and
I have another Indian dude as well. I actually don't know his height. I think he's 5'4", I think. Like,
hmm,
again, shorter side, right? 5'4", 5'5" or something. And yeah, he hated women, dude. And I understand why, because online dating is all 6 feet plus, 6 feet plus, 6 feet plus. Dude, I took like this part. I don't know if he's gonna listen or I don't know if he's gonna feel bad about this or not, but because I felt bad because I took him, like personally, I took him with me to the club.
hmm,
And well, obviously I'm 6 feet and he's 5'4" or something. And
hmm,
I saw it with my own eyes. I saw girls being mean, like
hmm.
literally treating him like subhuman. I saw it with my eyes and it broke my heart. I was like, holy fuck, imagine just people just, like just being fucking mean because you're shorter than them or something like that. It like broke my heart. I was like, wow, that's the shit that you guys have to go through. But guess what? He now has a girl. He's having more than enough sex. And I think he's setting up a threesome or some shit.
Yes.
So that's what I'm saying. It's like you just all you have to do. And I had to push him, dude. I really had to push him.
Mm.
I took him out for his first cold approaches. I had to take him to the mall. I was like, no, you're gonna keep doing it. You're gonna keep doing it. And I don't want
Mm.
to hear negativity. I don't want to hear any of this
No,
shit.
this is
Like,
a
I
great.
mean, it exists.
This is a
That's
great
fine.
story, man.
Yeah. It's
Oh yeah,
fucking
thank
That's a
you.
epic.
Yeah,
fantastic story, bro. Yo, this guy's a legend. Yo, you
he
met
is a
up with a guy
legend.
off
That's what I'm saying.
Reddit.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy,
No,
bro.
no,
Like these are
he
this is
found
people.
me and he was here. So he actually met me. Like he actually met me here. I didn't know he was in Toronto. I was like, fuck. I mean,
Yeah.
fuck it. Let's actually meet
Did
up.
you
Okay, cool.
you just like took him out like for free of charge, bro? This is guy who's really living the life and doing the work, man. For
No,
real.
he
Yeah.
signed up with me.
That's awesome, man.
Like, well, he signed up with
Oh,
me.
okay,
He
okay.
signed up with me for online coaching,
Yeah.
but I didn't know he was. I'm not gonna give his location, but I didn't know he was right here. So then I was like, dude, I mean, this is not, I don't meet people, but like if you're right here, fucking come with me. I'll take you. I took him to the mall and I took him to the nightclub and we did approaches in both places. I helped him get his first couple of cold approaches. And then, we made it happen. Like we made sure, I mean, I helped him with a bunch of other stuff. We bought like those elevated heels for his shoes. I
Yeah.
helped him with like looks
Yeah.
maxing,
Yeah.
helping with his glasses and all that stuff, because he legit has those fucking nerdy engineer glasses, like like your dad glasses, bro. The ones that come down to
Yeah,
here
yeah,
because
yeah,
he's
yeah,
farsighted or some shit. Like so he has to bring those things.
yeah,
I'm like, motherfucker, you're not wearing this shit when you're going out to approach girls. Like you're gonna fucking change this shit up.
and this,
Dude, that's great
Yeah.
work, man. That's great work.
yeah,
That's one thing that doesn't get brought up a lot. I wanted to touch on real quick is actually niche maxing, right? I don't even know if that's the right word. I just
Looks
labeled
maxing,
it
I
that I
think.
think recently,
I don't
but it
know if
was
that's
like
what you're saying or okay, you're saying something different.
no
Oh.
niche maxing, which is like basically I always was saying this. I think how this guy Sleazy that I followed for a while, a guy I met up with in person. He was well known on the forums.
yeah,
He was really good, man. And he was big onto like finding a place that you really like, finding the getting, you may need to uncover that aspect and discover that about you, like what areas you like to go to, what bars or clubs you like to hang out at, whether it's a library, it could be anything, but find out what you truly enjoy doing. Sometimes people will say a hobby, but
Oh, makes
this
sense.
goes
Makes sense.
into,
Yep.
yeah, a hobby or something that,
yep,
yes, women, to meet women in a place in which you really are like, you feel like you're at home. You know what I mean? You feel like once you walk up to the door that you got the security guys, saying what's up to you. And it's just like, you feel like this is where I want to be, man. Whether, I immersed myself in like the Caribbean Trinidadian nightlife scene at one point because I dated one of them. I was like, I'm never going back to an American chick again.
Yeah,
She was like the
yeah,
most
yeah, yeah, yeah,
feminine, sexual girl I've ever fucking dated, bro. She
yeah,
she just turned my life upside down, and I was like
yeah,
literally obsessed with these types of
mm,
chicks. I'm like, I started doing research. Where are they hanging out? Where are the clubs? Where are the after
yeah.
parties? Like, and I started going there all the time, and I just immersed myself in that scene. If that's what is classified as niche maxing, I'm not sure, but someone has thrown that word around. But I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's something along those lines, I believe.
yeah, for sure, bro. We can use that term. I mean, and I know like these are many ways up the mountain, right? People can get really into a music scene, like they can be really into like I used to be into like techno and electronic music, and I used to go to like raves and whatnot, and I started to know people and got some socialization in.
Yeah.
Or like you know, Brian's into his like carver, he's into like his like he's into some of his like social scene, which is involving like carver bars and whatnot. And there's a lot of cool people you can meet there. There's all sorts of things around here in Budapest that you can go to, which I could rock up. And I've got some lays from like just going to some like hipster ass coffee shops where I work at. I literally go there and do my work. You know what I mean? Running my business, and I chat to people, and over time I got like some social circle lays like that. So this is a perfectly great avenue to use as well because, man, there are many ways up the mountain. Like once you
The
are in the
analogy the analogy that Sleazy would give, it's like going into a car. You don't want to have no direction. Like you want to have something at least that is pulling you in a certain. It's like going to a car dealership and having some sort of idea of what you're looking for. You got to know like what you're kind of looking for. Like, oh, I like these artsy types of girls. I'm not saying to not be well versed in all aspects. Like you could put me in a lot of different scenarios and I'll have success. I may take a little
Mhm.
while to warm up, but for sure without a shadow of a doubt, like this is going to be there, right? And you have an idea of what you're looking for. It just clarifies things in your mind to not just be floating around. Oh, I'm not sure. Like you could just take what is it? Like I remember just taking empty laps around the mall, and it was like I was lost at one point and had no
Mm.
direction. It's good to have an idea of what you're going for, and go in and immerse yourself in that scene.
That's the
I think
truth,
it would be
bro.
very beneficial, man.
You gotta hunt. You gotta put your you gotta fish in the right pond, so to speak. But guys, this is coming up to 3 hours on this podcast, and as you know, in here in Central Europe, it's 1 a.m. and I need to get my ass to bed. This was a great
Absolutely, man.
conversation. This was just a conversation between friends of the show. It was one that we're gonna have many more times as we move forward. And our journeys. But for now, man, we covered a lot of really good topics, and I definitely know there's a few more that we want to dive into. We're gonna save those for next call because, like, between the guys here, there's so much shit we can get into and coalesce.
Yeah, this
around.
will be a regular thing. We'll try to make it like we'll all catch up like maybe once a month or something.
I agree, bro. Definitely, because like we kind of bounce off each other, we feed off each other, and we have really good vibe over here. So, listen, man, bros, thanks for your time today. I greatly appreciate it. I'll chat to you guys soon, and we'll get this uploaded on our channels. So, peace out, guys, and catch you soon.
Peace out, guys. Good talking, man.
Go on, man. That was really good.